Hello, hello, my beauties and bees. Oh, that's kind of squished up. Weird. Yeah, I don't like the way the chat looks here. Hold on. Can I transform it and make it skinnier? Let's see. That's position, not size. So, I guess making it shorter would help. Ah, we'll do this. Just because I don't like the way the chat looked like that. It was weird. I didn't like it. I'm being a bitch. Let's drop it down to 1,000. Here we go. That's perfect. Maybe it's perfect. I don't know. You'll have to say something. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, my. Oh, I feel all weird when I lean back like that because the light hits me. Ooh. Good evening. Hello. I decided to start trying to stream more in the evenings here lately. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing more of my pretty face gracing your mostly Tuesday nights, is what it's seeming like. I did a piece with Maya and Ryan a few weeks ago. I did a piece with Leo. Tonight I'm flying solo, um, just because I feel like it. And I need to be streaming live more. I need to be streaming live more on this channel specifically because, you know, this is where I get paid, honestly. And I have a lot to say and a lot to talk about. So the first thing I wanted to bring up before we even get into any kind of videos or anything is Bat Squatch. So, are you all familiar with Bat Squatch? I just dropped my vape. Oh, I did. Yeah. Crisis averted. Crisis averted, Hive. Hello. Yeah. Start looking for me more in the evenings. I should be here more often moving forward. But I don't know if y'all are familiar with Bat Squatch. Bat Squatch is a sort of a niche cryptid, but the let's see, the Bat Squatch. Actually, let's share that. We'll do that. Yeah. Okay. So, we're gonna go Cryptid Wiki, which is of course always the most trusted source. There's the Bat Squatch from what's that game? Scribblenauts. The Scribblenaut Bat Squatch. I know it's Nahul. Anyway, Bat Squatch is a flying cryptid that was allegedly seen near Mount St. Helen in the 1980s, resembling a or it resembled a flying primate similar to the ahul and the orang bati of Southeast Asia. The name was a portmanteau of bat and Sasquatch, and witnesses allegedly took several pictures of the creature. However, these pictures. Oh, why am I way off camera? We got a narrower point of perspective on this setup. Okay, there we go. A portmanteau of the word bat and Sasquatch. The witnesses allegedly took pictures of the creature. However, these pictures have yet to be analyzed and thus cannot prove the creature's existence. So, pretty standard fare for cryptozoology, am I right, Hive? Oh, I've literally never heard of this before. Yeah, it was in the 1980s. It's very niche, very niche. The creature was said to have yellow eyes, a dog-like muzzle, blue fur. Yeah, you got that blue fur. It's Beast from X-Men, right? Blue fur, sharp teeth, bird-like feet, and leathery bat-like wings that span up to 50 feet. That's some big wingspan. That's like, yeah, it's as long as our house. In addition, the bat squatch is said to be 9 feet tall and has the ability to affect car engines. Interesting. The Japanese book and website sometimes describe bat squatch as being 22 feet or 7 meters tall, but this is probably a mistranslation as no bat squatch of this size has ever been sighted. There's a lot to unpack here, but let's We're going to get to the punchline here. Don't worry. Ben, are you with us? Ben, I didn't know you're here before I move on. Sightings of the Bat Squatch began in the 1980s, shortly after the eruption of Mount St. Helens. Reports of the this period describe it as a monkey-like creature with red eyes and wings that flies through the plume. In April of 1994, Brian Cranfield was driving in Washington's Pierce County when his truck suddenly died. Suddenly died. And Canfield said a large creature landed in front of him. He said it was human-like, 9 feet tall, with bat-like wings, and it also sported a coat of blue fur. Blue fur, y'all. You gotta love it. Cryptids. Ah. As Canfield's report became well known, a series of news reports followed. A person named Butch Whitaker reported that he was in a private plane in the vicinity of Canfield's encounter when the Bat Squatch encountered what? When the Bat Squatch. Oh, hold on. Okay. I misread that. I was about to be like, oh, this is a typo. Okay. A person named Butch Whitaker reported that he was in a private plane in the vicinity of Canfield's encounter with Bat Squatch and encountered a flying Bat Squatch. In 1998, a driver of a truck hauling logs in northern Oregon reported a collision with a Bat Squatch. You know, you know how you do. I keep dropping this thing. Uh, reported a collision with the Bat Squatch. The Bat Squatch seen at this time was described as 15 feet tall with purple eyes and nose and small wings, not 50-foot wings like the last time. So you gotta, your Bat Squatch the wing sizes can change depending. And yes, I did take off my Bigfoot shirt, man. I was gonna wear it, but I was like, you know what? I want to look sexy actually, so I put this on instead. So hopefully I look good. Let's see here. Where were we? In 1998, we did that. The 15-foot tall purple one. He's mutated. He's grown bigger, and his eyes turned purple, and his nose turned purple. In 2009, near Mount Shasta in California, several hikers witnessed a huge creature with leathery wings spanning 50 feet fly out of a crevice in the mountains. At first, the eyewitness describes the creature as having a head similar to a pterodactyl. However, upon reconsideration, the witness claimed to have been more akin to a flying fox bat. Doesn't sound like a bat squatch to me. Suspicious. All right. In June of 2011, Phoenix Tiraz, as a pseudonym, not a real name, was in the yard walking his dog when he went to pick up the dog. When he saw something in the sky, he said the following: I saw something fly in the sky. It had bat wings, blue fur, and a face similar to eyes glowing red. It was about 9 feet tall at the least. After I watched it, it just flew away. In April, on April 2014, an Archbishop uh, Hoban High School okay, that's the name of it's not about an archbishop. Okay. And I read these all stilted like because sometimes these are poorly written. Sometimes they're really well written, and that's when you know it's plagiarized. On April 14th, 2014, at Archbishop Hoban High School in Akron, Ohio, I almost said Oklahoma, a second period Spanish class spotted a giant black mass zipping by the window of the classroom at incredible speed. The claims it was about 9 feet tall with a 20-foot wingspan. Other cryptids that may be related to Bat Squatch. Carl Schucker wondered if Bat Squatch might be related to a diva. I'm a diva. See my spiked necklace? Doesn't that scream diva to you? A red bat-like creature, 10 to 12 feet tall, that Geoffrey Hodgson saw in the Lake District of England in June of 1922. He also heard from Mark Phillips that there had been sightings of a 20 to 40 foot wide orange bat that he thought might be related to Bat Squatch. Others thought the unnamed kaiju captured in Japan in 1920 or 1826. Oh, unnamed kaiju in Japan in 1826. We'll have to unpack that at some point. And might be Bat Squatch. In popular culture, Bat Squatch is featured in the popular trading card game MetaZoo Cryptid Nation. And Bat Squatch is the name of a beer produced by Rogue Brewing in Oregon, which brings us to our topic for the day, because Ben was at the store today and he located some Bat Squatch. Which way do I need to go? There we go. There, okay, so Bat Squatch. Check that can out. It's pink, white, and blue, so it's like it's definitely Pride. So I'm gonna say Bat Squatch is the official 2025 mascot for Pride this month. Yeah. And this is an IPA. It's a hazy IPA. I don't usually drink IPAs a lot. I've been drinking them more since Ben's been finding these fun ones. He also had, what was the other one you had? You had the Poplick Monster, right? Which is a goat man from Texas. But we're gonna try this right now. It's still pretty chilled. Yeah, we're gonna find out. Rainbow. It's very fruity, very citrusy. Yeah, very citrusy. Yeah, Ben finds the coolest stuff. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I found the other alien, so now I have them both. So I have the silver one that I showed you the other day. This is outer space, and then I have the green one too, which is translucent. And I also got this cool glow in the dark toxic cup when I was there. So we went to the liquor store the other day, and yeah, I was able to find the other ones, and I have the matching set. I thought there was a rainbow one for Pride, but it was a rainbow skull. I don't know if there is a rainbow one or not. I'll have to check around and see. But these are pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with them. Oof. I wouldn't mind having the skulls though. Oh look, how sexy I am. It's being silly, but uh, I am happy with the way that my transition is going now. If anybody's wondering, these little pictures are all tiny. Why are they so tiny? Want big pictures? There's a bigger picture of a bat squatch. Maybe that looks like a big bat to me. There's an action figure. That's more what I would think of in my brain when you say bat squatch. That's what pops in my head. Something like that. Can I pull this down a little bit? Hold on. Just a hair right there. That's where I want it. Okay, that's better. Something about the height of my camera was driving me crazy. I got it fixed though. All right. We are cool. We are good to go. All right. I like that one. This reminds me of the report that from Bernard Hobelman about the bat that was snatching fish out of the water. And that's just a flying fox. There you go. That's cute. I like that one. And none of them are blue though. I want a blue black. I want a blue bat squatch. I want a bat squatch that looks like this, except for it's blue like Beast from X-Men. Is that too much to ask? I'm gonna buy this action figure just so I can create a proper Bat Squatch. But Bat Squatch isn't necessarily going to be the full topic of today's show or anything. We got a whole lot of stuff, and actually, Bat Squatch isn't even a feature of today's show, other than what I'm going to be drinking while we review these videos. I am running a poll, and it looks like Squatch is in the lead. Lycanthropes are actually pulling up the rear there, which I'm kind of surprised about, but because when I first started, Lycanthropes was the first one to get a vote. If you haven't voted yet, go vote because we still got a few more minutes before I'm going to start. Um, just doing some housekeeping stuff. So, yeah, with the channel, I need you guys. I need you guys to where'd it go? Hold on. I need you guys to go out here and vote on my polls, right? Because every week I run these polls, right? And I depend on my audience to tell me what they want to see. Oh, here's some Tartaria stuff. Doom, doom, doom. We like talking about Tartaria on Live from the Hive every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 8:30 out here in the mountains, and 7:30 over there on the West Coast, and even earlier on the East Coast at or sorry, even later, not earlier, even later on the East Coast with it being at 10:30 a.m. Yeah, good morning, East Coast. We come live from the Hive. Their morning's almost over. Yeah, it is very citrusy, very citrusy. It's a citrus haze. Yeah, and I'm here for it. Pretty good stuff, you know. All right. So here's the polls so far for this coming Saturday, right? For our weekend weird, right now, we're looking at Vault to the Vatican's you got a pretty solid lead, right? If it was later in the week, I'd actually go ahead and put that as the name on the video. But the Sky Trumpets are holding up pretty good. Nobody wants to see the snake charming video, which is fine. Eventually it'll be up against stuff you want to see it more than. Eventually, things stay on the list for a long time. The Tartarian Knights have been on there forever, which I'm surprised about, but we cover a lot of Tartaria, so I wouldn't be surprised if my audience didn't get burned out on the Tartaria stuff. Now, Cryptic Corner, I'm thrilled to see that the Asian mountain monsters are way in the lead. So that's what's the name of they were pulling last place like completely consistently. And I switched it to Asian mountain monsters though. Y'all want to see that shit. Y'all want to see the Yeti and the urine and the Alma when they're looking like the abominable snowman from the abominable snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? That's the draw. But we also have the Oscar the Beast of Busco, which is our giant snapping turtle from Indiana, right? Chernobusco, Indiana. The immortal Count Saint Germain. There's a lot of folklore about him, and there's historical and folkloric accounts. So do with it what you will. Let me know, is my volume like peaking really bad? Let me know if I'm like, I don't want it to be doing that. But and then we have the spooky, scary skeletons, from Canada, because apparently there's a ghost tradition indigenous to Canada. Hello, that involves living skeletons, and we're gonna bust that open with like Hammerson Peterson or whatever. They do like little mini documentaries about Canadian folklore and cryptozoology and stuff. It's freaking sweet. But yeah, get out here and vote if you haven't voted on these polls. As a matter of fact, there's no excuse not to, because see what I'm doing here? I'm copying, and I'm going to share it over here in the chat. So there's no reason why anybody in this chat shouldn't have cast their vote on these polls, right? So the first one's going to be the Weekend Weird, and the second one's going to be Cryptic Corner. Are you a spooky, scary skeleton from Canada? And actually, what I'm going to do, since this one's Cryptic Corner, I'm going to label it. So there's no reason not to vote now. Hey Neil, I'm drinking some Bat Squatch. Bat Squatch, and it's in a trans can. So, woot woot. We have spooky, scary skeletons. Yeah, they send shivers down your spine. All right, where are we on these polls though? I guess we're starting with Squatch, which is fine with me. Not starting with Bat Squatch though. Unfortunately, we'll have to revisit Bat Squatch sometime in the future. But we got new Bigfoot footage. I want to see, can I get the thumbnail for this? Because the thumbnail for this was fucking off the hook. Some of these are older videos though, and this was just posted 3 weeks ago. Let's do it.
An intriguing discovery is being investigated in a community east of Seattle. Someone came across a lengthy trail of extremely large footprints.
Trail cameras have been catching more than just animals, and recent footage shows Bigfoot unlike ever seen before.
Oh, there he goes.
This compilation has everything needed to prove the existence of these elusive creatures.
So after this video, we should have 100% proof that Bigfoot is real. That's the expectation. That's the claim. I'm going to crank up the speed just a little bit because we got more than enough to get through here.
And best of all, everything was caught on camera.
Sasquatch.
In 2013, a hunting trap.
Yeah, I'm monetizing this because I'm a broke bitch. I meant to stop spending my money on alien vodka, but I digress. Don't judge me for my vices. I am a vice. Maybe I'm your vice. It's time to get squatchy.
Trap meant for wild boars ended up catching something far more mysterious. A massive creature resembling a Sasquatch was spotted caught in the rig, but it wasn't panicking. It stood tall, calm, and didn't make a sound. Its arms were huge, with unusual posture that didn't match any known animal. What shocked people most
the known animal it matches is a human being.
Was how it broke free, cleanly, with no injuries, like the trap wasn't even a challenge. After escaping, it melted into the trees, leaving no signs behind.
Sometimes when your Sasquatch melts, it leaves behind ectoplasm. It depends on the type of Sasquatch. But this one looks like a dude to me.
Hidden offspring.
Oh, we've done this one before. Not bad to report it. It's a great little piece of art here. This is the baby Bigfoot hiding in the hidden in the leaf piles. The dead baby Bigfoot.
Footage revealed a small black furred body buried under forest leaves, believed by many to be a juvenile Sasquatch. The location was remote, surrounded by dense trees and no nearby trails. So
it's a freaking urukai. You can even see the white hand of Saruman on its face. Have you never seen a fighting urukai before?
Suggesting the body had been deliberately hidden. It was smaller than adult Sasquatches, but the features, thick hair, wide shoulders, and elongated limbs, matched what witnesses often describe. Strangely, there were no visible injuries and no tracks nearby, almost like it had been placed there.
Do not eat it. That's my advice. I think it's an art piece. Honestly, I think it's an art piece, but...
Massive figure. Recorded in 2015, footage surfaced showing an enormous figure walking calmly through the woods. It looked to be at least 8 to 10 feet tall, built like a heavyweight fighter, but covered in thick, dark hair. It showed no reaction to the...
So it's built like a human. Somebody walking in the woods is built like a big person. Could it be a big person? My lips look super dark.
The camera and moved like it had done this 1,000 times. Its body language wasn't nervous or aggressive. It was natural, like it belonged there. Some
once you reach adulthood, you have walked like 1,000 times.
Believe this was one of the clearest glimpses of Bigfoot yet, captured while it quietly passed through its territory. Careful to stay hidden, but caught just long enough for the camera to prove it was real. Silent walker.
Doom to doom. All right, Silent Walker, guys. I'm just trying to make sure I'm stopping enough to not get us with a smack on the wrist. Fun fact: KW's YouTube at is juvenile Bigfoot. Interesting.
Oh, there he goes.
In 2002, a Canadian man recorded a huge ape figure deep in the forest, far from any roads or signs of life. The creature walked with slow steps.
And let me reiterate that a human is an ape figure, because humans are, in fact, we are indeed 100% apes. We are apes. I could go over why. If anybody out there has any doubts, leave a comment down below. We'll unpack it, and I'll explain to you why. Yes, sweetie, you're an ape. But don't worry, so am I. So was my mom. So was your mom. Uh-huh. And your grandmama too. All the way back. Apes, to go back to when there were no apes, you're gonna have to go back millions of years. So we've been apes for a long time.
Steady steps, never looking at the camera, never changing pace. It didn't act like it was being watched, more like it already knew and didn't care. No fur or footprints were found later, adding to the mystery. The way it acted led some to
Because it's just a bro.
believe this wasn't just an animal. Many think Bigfoot might be more intelligent than we expect, choosing to observe us while avoiding any real contact. Juvenile tracks.
Of course, on this one, when you pull it up, you can still see clearly that that was a footprint.
While this forest expedition
It's a juvenile track because it's human-sized, I guess.
team was searching, they uncovered multiple footprints they believed belonged to a young Sasquatch. The use of white fluid helped cast the prints, revealing intricate details such as a large toe and finger-like features. Though no other physical evidence, like fur or hair, was found, the depth of the prints suggested a heavy creature. The most likely explanation is that these were the tracks of a juvenile Sasquatch, potentially in search of food.
Why is it juvenile? Is it more likely that that's a bear footprint? Because it looks like a bear-shaped foot. Like, let me see here. So we're gonna look at bear tracks. Specifically the hind feet, but let me get this pulled up here for you. Okay. All right, so
Most likely explanation fur or hair is a large toe and finger.
let's look at this cast. Okay. So, I kind of an idea of the general shape of this footprint, right? Now, if you look, this is a black bear. You'll see that at least the foot, the pad of the foot is very, very, very much like what we're seeing here in comparison, right? Now, this big toe does jut out, but as you walk in the mud, your feet go into the mud and then pull up. So you are scooping out as you move forward. I'm not saying that I know for 100% this is a black bear footprint, but it sure looks a lot like a black bear trackway, right? Look at this. There's a black bear trackway right there. This is the one I really wanted to focus on. Let me see. Open a new tab. Let me get a closer look at that. So, as you can see, both the outside toes have a little bit more prominence than the inner toes, which may be a phenotypic trait, but it's hard to say. Anyway, back to the video.
Finger-like features. Though no other physical evidence, like fur or hair, was found, the depth of the print suggested a heavy creature. The most likely explanation is that these were the tracks of a juvenile Sasquatch, potentially in search of food. This sighting adds another piece to the puzzle of Sasquatch's elusive existence, hinting at a young member of the species wandering the forest.
That is awesome.
Why is it not a bear track, though?
Footage from 2016 shows a rare moment during a hiking trip when a group stumbled upon something they believed was Bigfoot, freshly disturbed and walking straight toward them. It didn't hide. It didn't flee. It moved with purpose. And for once, Bigfoot was seen up close instead of in the distance. The hikers backed away, but the camera kept rolling. Some say it may have been caught off guard from hibernation. Others think this kind of evidence is exactly
I wouldn't think a Bigfoot would hibernate. Looks like it's running
why
away,
such
though.
sightings get buried. Too real, too dangerous to let spread without control. Snow trail.
Oh, here's the one that was at the beginning. So the snow tracks, right? And this is what kind of guess what you'd say like Yeti's most famous for. There's a famous video of a Yeti called the Snow Walker video. So it's like there's some kind of phenomena that leaves big footprints that look, like giant human footprints in the snow. I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen, but yeah, we'll have a look at these ones and see what we think.
Trail.
Intriguing discovery is being investigated in a community east of Seattle. Someone came across a lengthy trail of extremely large footprints. Now, a Sasquatch investigator is looking into the matter, which has also piqued the interest of a renowned researcher here on the island. CTV's Gord Kurbis reports.
In 2016, east of Seattle, someone came across massive footprints cutting through a stretch of untouched snow. They weren't just big, they were impossible. Each step was wide, deep, and perfectly spaced, leading into dense forest. No animal known to science could have made them. Investigators measured the prints and found them far larger than even the biggest bears. Some think the creature was passing through in search of food. Others believe the trail was a warning, a sign that something ancient still roams the forests.
Or it could be a hoax. Like a lot of people do hoaxes with the big fake footprints, or big fake feet. The big stride and stuff is hard to fake, but not impossible.
Watching, protecting what's left of the wild. Running family. In 2018, a hunter from Western Canada saw something he'd never forget. A towering Bigfoot sprinting through the forest with a female and what looked like her offspring. He knew animal behavior, and this wasn't a bear or moose. The speed was unreal, the movement smooth, and the coordination between them hinted at a tight social bond. That part made it different.
Those are two different videos. Who are you trying to fool? I'm sorry, I'm stuffing my face with some rice over here real quick, but who are you trying to fool with that? I know the Independence Day footage, which is what you got here with the one carrying the baby, which the baby is a puppet, right? That's why this one runs along and ducks behind the rock, right? And then pops back up with the puppet in his hands and continues running. And the other one is just the video from before. This is her before.
And the coordination between them hinted at a tight social bond. That part made it different. Most sightings show Bigfoot alone, but this one suggested a whole family group, possibly protecting the...
That's not what that video shows. That's the same individual walking before and after it picked up that puppet behind the rock. It is a puppet. I don't care what anybody says. I can tell a puppet when I see one. What this female Bigfoot is carrying is like one of those cling puppets. It has an arm that goes around you and another arm that's kind of controlled by like a wire stick.
Young. If true, it shows a side of Bigfoot that's rarely seen. Fast, intelligent, and not nearly as solitary as once believed. River Guardian.
Oh, here we go.
Back in 2021, a couple hiking near Michigan's Cass River caught something incredible. A massive red-haired figure, waist deep in the water, walking calmly while cradling a smaller one in its arms. They said it wasn't just big, it was powerful, yet careful.
Now, this is a fisherman, right? I mean, let's look at it.
Like it was cradling a smaller one in its arms. They said it wasn't just big, it was in the water, walking calmly while cradling a smaller one in its arms. They said it wasn't just big, it was powerful, yet careful, like it was protecting its own. Most Bigfoot sightings show
Or is a fisherman holding a big-ass fish, walking out of the river with it to make sure it doesn't lose its fish. It, his, hers, whoever, in hip waders. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Somebody noodling, maybe. Is this noodling?
solitary figures, but this one looked like a parent. The creature crossed the river like it was nothing, giving the hikers a rare look at what could be a family moment in the wild. Peaceful.
Or a noodler, noodling.
Quiet, and unforgettable. Bush stalker.
Did I get rated? Suddenly saw a spike in my viewers. Did I get raided? I'm into the poll because we already got the order we're going in. Oh, are we gonna? I can already tell right now, looking at this picture, that this is the Sylvanic Bigfoot footage. This is Blinky.
In 2015, a Canadian camper got what might be one of the closest looks at Bigfoot ever recorded. Hidden behind thick brush, the creature's massive head, reportedly twice the
Todd Standing is not a camper. Todd Standing. Thank you, Mark Reed. Yes, Reed Raid. Woo! Awesome. It's good to see ya. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I've been trying to do things on Thursday or Tuesday nights. So yeah, thank you for coming. Appreciate you, Mark. Mwah. Much appreciated. So Todd Standing is not just a
size of a
camper.
human's. Locked eyes with a man. That brief silent moment was unsettling.
Blinky.
Bigfoot sightings rarely include direct eye contact,
Jane.
but this one did. Despite its
Blinky.
size, the creature barely moved, blending into the surroundings like it belonged there. What really stood out was its strength. Huge.
Okay. I guess I have to do this. I don't know. Shoot. How am I gonna do this? Let me see. Because we've covered this, and it's no joke. There we go. All right, can I share this? Let me see if I can share this. Bear with me. And we're going to, there's just a specific part of this I wanted to share. Where's the video at? No. Okay. So I'll have to do it manually. That's all right, though. No, not like that. Cancel. Earth. Yeah. Y'all come raid my stream to watch me struggle with my features. Window capture. There we go. Let's do media player. At source. There we go. All right. So let me kind of break this down for you. So Todd Standing. The Muppet. Yeah. But that's not the most important part. Here's what I wanted to show. Okay, so this is Todd, outdoor survival guy. Then there's the other Bigfoot, which we've seen featured prominently in this video clip that we're watching now. So imagine my shock when the facial features of this creature tends to line up almost perfectly all the way down to the eye wrinkles with the facial features of Todd Standing himself. Who would have thought? Am I right? We're on to you, Todd Standing. Anyway, which is what we're looking at here. This is his Jane.
Powerful, and yet completely in control. Young encounter.
Ooh.
In 2012, a man hiking alone came face to face with something unexpected. A small, ape-like creature sprinting toward him on all fours. It didn't look like any animal common to the area, and it moved with speed and intention. The man didn't wait to study it. He ran.
Now the ass is way too high on this guy, right? Because it runs like a person running on all fours. Apes' spines are going to be like this. Their head up here, slope down. When a human runs on all fours, because our hind legs are so much longer than our forelimbs, we're like this, with our head down here. And you can see that in pseudomation too. Like when you watch Planet of the Apes and things like that, they use things on their arms to run so that they don't have to have their butt sticking up in the air, so it actually looks more like an ape. But in cheaper movies, they don't do that. And we're going to see other things like that here tonight too.
Many believe it was a juvenile Sasquatch, which makes the encounter rare. Most sightings involve towering adults, not younger ones. Experts noted how unusual it was to see such a creature running on all fours, suggesting it may have adapted to its environment in ways we don't fully understand.
And this is definitely got Gable footage vibes. Are y'all familiar with the Gable footage? Which I guess I could also share. Yeah. So kind of looks like they're channeling Gable footage. We'll see though. Let me see. So Gable. Yeah, we got it. This is the Gable footage, which is done the same way. You can tell right there where the ass goes way up in the air. That is a person in a ghillie suit, right? They put some little ears on it and stuff, but yeah. And they change the timing to make it look more fluid. But it's a person in a ghillie suit. This thing has the same vibe.
Yowie sighting. Understand on all fours, suggesting it may have adapted to its environment in ways we don't fully understand.
Definitely, that's the energy they were going for on this one.
Yowie sighting.
Going to Yowie. This one's for you, Mark. There's your Yowie.
In 2023, deep inside Australia's Alpine National Park, a man hiding behind a tree watched a massive, upright creature walk by, covered in dark hair and built like a tank. The figure didn't act like it was hiding. It just moved through the forest like it owned it. Locals call it the Yowie.
That is like a spirit Halloween costume. Yes, that is a spirit Halloween Yeti costume or Bigfoot costume. Messing with Sasquatch style
And
costume.
it's said to be Australia's answer to Bigfoot. What made this sighting stand out was how unaware the creature seemed of the man watching. Its lack of alertness raised questions. Was it not worried about humans? Or had it already figured out we were no real threat?
Look, I'm in Texas. I worry about humans every day.
Unshaken presence. A 2013 sighting caught a Bigfoot calmly sitting in the forest, taking a slow breath before quietly walking away. The creature didn't panic or run, despite being watched. Its hair was long.
Person in a suit. D Parks, would I bring you fake? Would I bring you fake Bigfoot footage? Come on now.
And dark, and its large build made it impossible to mistake for a bear. It moved smoothly, with complete control, like it knew the forest better than anyone. Observers noted how it seemed aware of them without even turning its head. Some believe Bigfoot has evolved senses far beyond ours, making it almost impossible to sneak up on, even in the wildest parts of the woods. Shadow lurker. A 2015 CCTV camera captured a figure hidden just beyond the edge of the bushes, a humanoid shape, crouched and still, watching. It never stepped fully into
I like the intense names they come up with. This Shadow Lurker. Could be, Peeping Tom, Creeper.
but the glowing reflection in its eyes and its smooth, unnatural movement caught everyone's attention. Experts reviewing the footage pointed out its posture didn't match humans or animals, and it moved like something designed for stealth. Some believe it's a forgotten species of forest-dwelling primate.
Maybe it's a reptilian. Why you can't even give the benefit of the doubt that it could be an alien reptilian from the center of the earth? Would a reptilian from the center of the earth be an alien though? There has to be a Terran? I don't know.
Adapted to stay unseen. forest hobbit. Deep in the Indonesian
Hell
wilderness, a
yeah!
man caught something
Hobbit time! Let's visit the Shire. No one tells you the Shire was in Indonesia.
unusual on video. A small, human-like figure watching him from the edge of the trees. Standing only about 3 to 4 feet tall, the figure resembled the long-extinct Homo floresiensis, often called the Hobbit. The terrain where it was filmed is notoriously rough.
Or did it resemble the indigenous people that live in this portion of the forest, which we've seen videos of before, where they captured basically there's a native indigenous population that naturally has a small stature that lives in Indonesia and in Flores actually. So yeah, food for thought.
With thick forest hiding anything that doesn't want to be seen. The creature stood still for a moment, then vanished into the jungle without a sound. Some believe it proves that the Flores man never vanished, just stayed hidden where few dare to go. Still presence. A 2017 trail camera captured something strange sitting in the woods. A large, hairy creature with hair longer than any Bigfoot footage ever documented. It wasn't moving. It just sat there, calm, like it was waiting or deep in thought. The moment froze people online, who weren't sure if they were looking at an animal or something older, something forgotten. The idea that it might
Or a dude in a costume. Jester's been here for 6 months. I met an alien from the surface of Earth, so yeah. This is a good costume, though. I'm really impressed by this. I think this was turned out to be like a promotional stunt, but
belong to a separate subspecies, or even a creature tied to ancient legends started to gain traction. Some believe it came from deep cave systems, only surfacing when it needed to, then returning underground. Forest stalker.
Come on inside!
While hiking alone in 2015, a woman had a face-to-face moment she'll never forget. She spotted an 8-foot-tall, muscular figure in the trees. Only after it had already noticed her. It didn't panic. It didn't...
it's like a giant ground sloth, this one is. It's a sloth. Don't be afraid of sloths. They can't hurt you. No, it's not a sloth, but it's a person in some kind of costume, looks like.
run. It slowly walked into the dense brush and disappeared, like it had done this before. No branches broke, no sounds followed. Despite its size, it left behind nothing, not even a footprint. Many believe this encounter shows that Bigfoot may not just be hiding, but...
I like his claws or whatever he's got going on here, though, and his face looks like a skull face, sort of, which is unique.
watching, carefully studying us from the shadows.
Come on inside!
It's important to mix things up with your gorilla and your orangutan costumes.
Silent retreat. In 2022, a camper heard the unmistakable sound of branches snapping near his tent, deep in the North American forest. Curious but cautious.
What year
he
did you say
followed
that
the
was?
noise snapping near... Silent retreat. In 2022, a camper...
That was not from 2022. This video is not from 2022 because that video was around back when I was doing forums, because I remember it very clearly. It was the inspiration for the name of my page on the forum, which was the Albino Sasquatch Cafe, because that was presented as the first alleged sighting of a sorry, I'm losing my train of thought, of a albino Sasquatch at the time. There's been more people coming forward with, oh, this is albino Sasquatch since, but yeah, let's see. I'm trying to fix the chat here a little bit for us. Okay.
heard the unmistakable sound of branches snapping near his tent, deep in the North American forest. Curious but cautious, he followed the noise and spotted it, a huge figure sitting in the dark, just watching. When the camper's light hit it, the creature bolted, vanishing like it had never been there. It moved fast, leaving no sound, no trail, just silence. Many believe Sasquatch knows exactly how to avoid being caught, using the forest as cover and disappearing before anyone can get
The
too
blackness of the eyes really gives you the impression this is a mask. I mean, this has been tackled time and again. I shouldn't have to reiterate, that it was a costume and stuff, but you know, uh, people still present stuff that was debunked. If I'm saying this was when I was doing forums, this would have been 15 to 20 years ago, right? And they're saying this is new footage too from 2022. This footage cannot be any younger than I want to say 2011
Close.
at the youngest.
Woodland giant. In 2024, deep in East Texas, a trail camera picked up something wild, a massive, hairy creature.
Now, we will talk about this when we get to the Yeti, and that might be next weekend based on the way the polls are going right now. But if we do, we are going to cover in great detail that about the why Yetis are depicted as white, and it's not really part of the folklore until after the 1960s.
Easily over 8 feet tall, grabbing a thick branch and banging it against another. The way it used the wood looked like some kind of signal, almost identical to how great apes communicate in the wild. Experts were stunned. The creature's body was huge and muscular, covered in dense dark hair, and though the footage was crystal clear, its face stayed bare.
What apes are communicating in the wild by banging sticks together? Where's this been documented at? What was the research? Is there citations for that?
Buried in shadow. That detail alone kept people guessing. Whatever it was, it moved like it belonged there, and it definitely wasn't just another animal. Highway watcher. Back in 2014, a trucker driving through Alberta casually recorded the forest while parking and accidentally caught something incredible. A giant figure standing upright, watching silently from the trees. Broad shoulders, long arms, and a towering frame that looked straight out of a cryptid book. It didn't flinch, didn't charge, just watched. Some believe Bigfoot has adapted to avoid detection.
The other people will have like those silhouette cutouts of Bigfoot, put them in their yard on the side of the highway and stuff. You're gonna be causing accidents with that shit. I'm not saying that's what this is, but it doesn't look like it's organic, or I should say this looks like it's organic. It looks like it's or maybe organic, but it's not alive. It's like moving.
Learning how to blend into the wild. If that's true, this one wasn't hiding. It was observing, judging, like it already knew how much we don't. Mountain watcher. In 2024, a passenger riding a scenic steam train caught a strange sight. Something large, upright, and hairy walking across a mountainside. It didn't panic or run. It simply sat down and blended right into the rocky terrain, like it had done this before. Most Bigfoot sightings happen in dense woods, but this one, way up high, in the open. The stillness, the camouflage, the confidence. It all hinted at something that knew how to survive unnoticed in any landscape. That brief
The dude looking for a place to cop a squat, maybe?
glimpse from the train might have been the only shot anyone ever gets. Buried Bigfoot.
I found a skull, or a bone, or something of some sort.
Oh, holy shit. Here we go. Cody Peterson, ladies and gentlemen.
Right here.
Alleged science educator.
Deep in the muddy forest of the Pacific Northwest, a research team uncovered something that left them stunned. A giant head, buried for who knows how long. The eye socket was the first thing exposed, and at first, it looked like it could have belonged to a bear. But as they dug deeper, the shape didn't match.
That's not a bear skull.
Actually, that is not a bear skull, you're right.
This wasn't any bear. The bone structure, jaw shape, and cavities all pointed to a primate. Something massive. It had features eerily similar to
It's a gorilla skull.
what's been described in Bigfoot sightings. The skull was surprisingly intact, raising new questions about what's really hiding in those forests.
I mean, I'm almost afraid to say it. That could be a Sasquatch skull.
Possessed Bigfoot.
Haha.
A camera strapped to a tree branch caught something
Love
nightmare-inducing
trail
about
cams.
10 feet above a feeder. It recorded what looked like a possessed Bigfoot. Suddenly, it let out a bone-chilling roar towards the camera. Its mouth was wide open with eyes looking at the sky. After a few terrifying moments, the creature disappeared into the woods, and many were unsettled by its expressions, and no
That kind of looks like a chimpanzee, though.
one knows what had happened, but are sure it was a Bigfoot. What do you think it was? Sasquatch footage.
Chimpanzee. That's a guy. Look at those skinny little legs. That's not a Sasquatch. That's not a Sasquatch.
At Eel River Beach, a man was enjoying the sun and surf when he spotted something strange coming out of the water. It wasn't a swimmer or a surfer, but a massive, hairy Sasquatch standing almost 10 feet tall. The beast moved with a slouched back, its body covered in thick hair. It lumbered across the sandy shore before the video ended. Because of how weird this video is, the cameraman is convinced it was a Sasquatch.
That's just a bro.
Night Strider. One night, a motion-triggered camera recorded something walking through the forest, and it wasn't quiet. Heavy footsteps echoed through the trees as a large figure moved across the frame. A nearby officer found the footage a few days later and was so stunned he shared it online. Whatever walked past that camera was big, upright, and fast. Despite a quick investigation, no prints or signs were ever found. But the way it moved and the sound it made kept people guessing. Something's definitely out there.
That looks like Photoshop to me, like
White Watcher.
I hate to say it, but it looks like CGI. I mean,
There.
it really does. The shadows don't
White
seem right.
Watcher.
What do you guys think? CGI? Let's watch it again.
Upright and fast. Despite a quick investigation, no prints or signs
That looks like CGI to me. The shadows don't seem to match with the lighting scheme.
were ever found. But the way it moved and the sound it made kept people guessing. Something's definitely out there. White Watcher. In 2011, a
I'm predicting this one's a costume based on that still image.
camper in the woods had that sudden eerie feeling of being watched. When he turned, he saw it. A large white creature standing silently in the distance. It didn't growl or move. It just stared. Its head was massive, its body still, and the moment the camper looked away, it vanished. No trail, no tracks, just silence. Some believe creatures like Bigfoot are
It looks like an '80s monster movie monster, or like really. So, in my opinion, and this is a humble opinion because I'm not like an expert or anything, but the special effects, what they call practical effects now, using latex and pumps and things like that, peaked in about 1987. Because after 1987, they started moving towards CGI. Yes, even that early. I know Terminator 2 is the big turning point for that, but I love to speculate on how cool special effects, practical special effects, would have continued to advance if it had not been for the advent of CGI to replace practical effects in the industry completely. One place where practical effects does carve out a little bit of a niche is in horror movies and fantasy movies. But even, that's becoming less and less of a thing. But what this reminds me of is like the goblins from you'll ever see the movie Legend? It was like Tom Cruise when he was a kid. Tim Curry plays Darkness, this big devil guy with his big horns. He's super sexy. But that's what this mask reminds me of.
observing human behavior, waiting quietly, and choosing when to disappear. Whatever this was, it knew exactly how to avoid being seen again.
That doesn't even need to be a people. It could be a person with a Halloween mask, or there doesn't even have to be a person wearing it. It could just be like stuffed with something and sitting on the stump over there.
Whatever this was, it knew exactly how to avoid being seen again. Tree marker. A trail camera placed in a North American forest in 2017 picked up something researchers weren't expecting. The footage shows a massive, hairy creature pressing its back against a tree, not scratching like a bear would, but swaying deliberately. Its fur was darker, denser, and longer than any local wildlife, and its back was far too broad to be a bear.
I think that's a bear. I think if you say it's back to, yeah, Tim Curry and Tom Cruise shared a stage, and this is before Tom Cruise went crazy too. He was like super young. I can't think of any other movie where he's younger except for maybe The Outsiders. But yeah, he's super young in that. Tim Curry is pretty young too, but the character he plays is like a daddy character. He's really big. I mean, he's evil. He's the villain, but
Some think it wasn't just relieving an itch, it could have been marking the tree, a behavior seen in great apes. If true, this might be how Bigfoot communicates territory or leaves signs for others of its kind.
what about them wood knockings that they do? Ooh, this one's creepy looking. That's definitely a mask though. How is that not a mask? How can you look at this still and be like, that's not a mask?
Forest idol. In 2022, a man exploring the woods came across a figure that didn't belong. It was humanoid, tall, with matted hair and arms tightly wrapped across its chest. But
It has a single horn growing out of its
what stood out
forehead.
most was the single horn-like shape protruding from its forehead. The figure didn't
I'll
move,
say so.
just stood completely still, almost lifeless. Many say it looked more like an ancient forest guardian than an animal. Whatever it wasn't a costume or statue. The unsettling realism of its face and posture made some wonder
I am also an ancient forest guardian, but this is like a
if it
sculpture.
was a creature pulled straight out of folklore. Silent Watcher. This footage is from 2023 and recorded by a solo traveler showing a massive ape-like figure lurking behind bushes. Observing him from a distance, the creature moved without sound, its dark fur blending perfectly with the environment. Unlike most animals that would either flee or react aggressively, this one stayed calm, watching without rushing or
It doesn't look like an animal, it looks like a dude. That's a dude, right?
making a move toward the traveler. Its deliberate and cautious behavior suggests a high level of intelligence, possibly pointing to Sasquatch, a creature long believed to dwell in North America's vast forests. Its ability to blend in and remain
When I was 8, we did a lot of attempts at making UFOs at the lake on vacation. If we ever saw a trail cam there, we would have been ghosts and things for sure. Yes, okay. Yeah, albino Bigfoot looks like Lou Ferrigno, you think so? That's a mask from an episode of the original Star Trek. You think? Okay, hold on. The horn thing? Star Trek, the original series? Oh my gosh, the Mugado. It does look a lot like the Mugado. I think that's how you say it. What do you guys think? Here, I'll pull this up over here for you so you can see what the Mugado alien looks like with this one horn. So you're not, I mean, you're not even wrong. It does look a lot like that creature. Like, yeah, I can see it. We'll play.
its dark fur blending perfectly with the environment. Unlike most animals that would either flee or react aggressively, this one stayed calm, watching without rushing or making a move toward the traveler. Its deliberate and cautious behavior suggests a high level of intelligence, possibly pointing to Sasquatch, a creature long believed to dwell in North America's vast forests. Its
This
ability
one
to
looks
blend
like
in and remain hidden is a hallmark.
This one looks like the Andre the Giant Bigfoot from the what is it, $6 Million Man? Where he plays Andre the Giant played the Bigfoot.
Of this elusive cryptid.
No, it's not the same costume, but it's like if someone made a costume of the Mugado. It's not the actual one from the movie though.
Stealthy giant. In 2014, footage of a towering black figure standing
Or if like a costume company made a Halloween costume with the Mugado, the independent from the television series version of it. Just a thought.
8 to 10 feet tall, emerged from a dense forest. The creature moved with ease through rugged terrain, demonstrating a remarkable adaptation to its environment. Despite its enormous size, it moved deliberately and without haste, avoiding any sudden reactions to the presence of the camera. Its stealth and size have led many to speculate that it could be a previously undiscovered species of giant.
Or it could be a dude. Are you going to say it's a Gigantopithecus? Because there's no reason to believe that Gigantopithecus was bipedal or even definitely never lived in North America.
Primate, one that has managed to evade human detection due to its ability to remain hidden and blend with its surroundings. Peekaboo foot.
Peekaboo foot.
No, like I'm in shock.
This thing is like a pitch black void. It's like looking into nothing. Nothing. I turned and I ran.
A 2009 encounter saw a traveler come across Bigfoot peeking from behind a tree. The creature was spotted briefly before vanishing without a trace. No footprints, hair, or broken branches were found, which is unusual in wildlife sightings. With its black fur
Doom, doom, doom.
blending seamlessly into the forest, it likely remained hidden most of the time. Some believe it was simply avoiding human interaction, sensing the traveler as a potential threat, and disappearing just as quickly as it appeared. This stealthy behavior further fuels the mystery surrounding
Yeah, like kind of like a copyright safe couple's costume to go along with Corporal Kurt. Yeah, Corporal Kurt. I love that.
Bigfoot and its ability to remain unseen in dense forests.
Recording didn't stop there. It stopped like 20 minutes later. I'm not going to have people listening to me screaming.
Hiking sighting. It might look like an ordinary clip, but look in the far left corner of the video. A strange, beastly figure was caught on camera.
Why is it beastly? It's just a human.
Running into the wilderness to avoid being caught. But as luck would have it, the young Bigfoot chose the wrong time to do so.
A young Bigfoot or a person who was taking a dump in the woods and had their pants around their ankles and then stood up and pulled their pants up and ran away because people started walking by with a camera.
Because it moved quickly and was a bit far away, the three hikers didn't spot it instantly and only noticed the creature when they watched the video later. Had they seen it, God only knows what could have happened. Tree Watcher.
Another one
In
of
2019, someone accidentally captured something in
And I don't trust these timelines he's given at all because so far I know that there's been videos he said are from like 2022 that are way, way older than that.
incredible while filming outdoors. An enormous brown-haired creature sitting calmly beside a tree. It didn't flinch, didn't move, just sat there, towering over anything nearby. It looked far too big to be any known animal in the area. Some think it could have been Bigfoot, possibly a leftover species that stayed hidden since ancient times. The way it sat, completely unbothered by the camera, gave people chills. It didn't seem scared, like it had done this before. Window Watcher. Back in 2010, a chilling piece of footage showed something peering through a home's window.
Ooh, I
Witnesses
really
said it
like
looked
this
like a
one. I really like this one. Damn.
giant primate. Its head was large, with deep-set eyes and long hair hanging around its face. It didn't knock or growl. Instead, it studied the room in silence, then vanished. Despite how close it got, there were no signs of aggression, just curiosity. Some believe
Oh my gosh, this might be my favorite Bigfoot footage ever.
this creature might have been scouting,
Is that from a
observing,
movie?
even collecting information. If Bigfoot is real, it may not be hiding from us out of fear, but watching us for reasons we still
This one might be a pervert.
don't understand. Frozen remains.
Is this the? Oh my gosh, it is. It's the dog training guy. He's so funny. Like he pisses the Bigfooters off, but he's funny. You all get a kick out of
We
this.
do not know where these creatures are from. My suspicions are that what they are is a biological recording device for the Greys, and that is why we do not find the dead bodies. If the creature's gonna die in the woods, you find a skeleton. We don't find skeletons of these creatures.
A video released in 2020 shows what looks like the body of a Bigfoot, frozen solid. The man who released it says his father found it during wartime and managed to keep it hidden ever since. The creature was huge, bigger than any primate, with fur that didn't match any
Oh my
known animal.
gosh.
Strangest of all, it looked untouched by time. Experts were baffled by how well preserved it was. Some say natural cold kept it intact. Others think the creature wasn't just preserved, it was sealed, possibly by something supernatural that's kept it hidden for a reason.
Now, I want to bring you up around the backside so that you can see the gluteus maximus, which is just incredible. You can see the great power in these animals, the muscle structure, the legs, the torso is much longer than like a human's.
Silent Strider. A lone traveler in 2012 caught footage of something massive gliding through the forest.
All right, hold
without
on. Before we move past him, I have to introduce you guys to this channel because we haven't actually covered it because I thought it was just that he's that too tongue in cheek, right? But this is this Peter Kane's Dog Trading is the channel's name, but most of his stuff is about like Fortean stuff. Next we got Bigfoot Cooked. He's gonna wake up as a werewolf, right? But there's the Bigfoot from 1953. So he's been doing this for a while. He's got like werewolf videos and stuff. Here's an alien. So, I mean, you can see how cheesy his stuff really is, right? No one's taking this seriously. Look at that.
Looks gigantic. My God, it looks almost like a pterodactyl. What the hell is that? Rhinoceros? No, that's not a. That looks like a triceratops.
This is who they're citing here. So. Very convincing, right? We got crazy close before he decided to run away. Get in your minivan. My favorite was his dog man, though. Where's his dog man at? Because it attacks with shed or whatever. These people have fun with it, though. Skinny Hulk, look at that. They've been doing this for a long time. Making silly, like Bigfoot videos and stuff. Yeah, this is the video he was just showing a minute ago. So don't take this seriously. Look at that. That's the Bigfoot's head. This is allegedly.
The Animal Planet show, Finding Bigfoot, is a joke. It's a horrible show, and it's derogatory to the Bigfoot community. This is a fact. It's about entertainment. It is not about science. It isn't. They make it very clear. It's all about them going in the woods and talking BS. They're talking about stuff that they don't know what they're talking about. It's a fact. It's about entertainment. They're afraid of the truth. They're just like everybody else. They're afraid of the truth. And they're afraid of losing money for sure. I have actual proof. I have several specimens. The next one that I will be showing is a full juvenile that I'm not really sure why. My father and his friend had started dissecting it. So the foot, like above the ankle, is off, and we have that too. So you can see.
Yeah, so you can kind of see where the quality of this is going, you know? That's the Bigfoot. Alright. I'm going to close all this stuff because I don't need this open anymore. Boom, boom.
A lone traveler in 2012 caught footage of something massive gliding through the forest without a single sound. It was huge, but somehow its steps were silent, as if it knew exactly how to avoid snapping twigs or disturbing leaves. Its fur
that has a lot of
Patterson
Gimlin footage energy, though, doesn't it? I mean, am I alone in thinking that that looks a lot like Patterson Gimlin's Bigfoot?
Well with the forest that it seemed to disappear with every step, even in daylight. The creature never looked back, never paused, just moved like it belonged there, smooth and confident. Experts later confirmed that nothing in the footage matched known animals. The way it moved, the size, the silence, it all pointed to one possibility: Sasquatch.
Or a human.
Forest Watcher. While camping in 2013, two friends recorded a towering ape creature that walked calmly near their camp. It didn't charge or run. It just watched. For a few minutes, it followed from a distance, keeping just close enough to be seen, but not caught. The strange part was how quiet it stayed, even at that size. After the video stopped, no evidence was ever found. No tracks, no sound. Some believe the creature was guarding its land, silently escorting the campers out.
I don't know if Bigfoots believe in land ownership, though, right? That seems like a human concept.
Others say it left them with an eerie, unexplained fear, like it had a way of getting into your mind. Alaskan Sasquatch.
Or as they call it in Alaska, the Alasquatch. He has elastic powers. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But the Portlock, Alaska creature.
What is that?
This was captured by a drone enthusiast exploring a forest in Alaska. And call me crazy, but it looks like a hairy creature walking on two legs, almost like
Or a dude walking on two legs. Let's not rule that
a
out.
Sasquatch. The drone owner couldn't believe his eyes either and flew closer to get a good look. But by then,
Yeah, but I don't think don't think purple. I don't think that they think they own their land though. I don't think that they like think that that they have like monetary value to their land. Kind of a human concept. I don't know. I can be wrong. I'm wrong all the time.
the mysterious bipedal became difficult to spot because of the angle.
No way. Are you serious?
Thermal encounter.
Ronnie, something really big just broke behind me twice and it's getting louder.
In 2023, a research team in Central Oregon picked up strange sounds, heavy knocks, and guttural vocalizations echoing through the woods. That alone had them on edge. Then their thermal drone spotted something, a large bipedal figure moving through thick forest like it was nothing.
Or a person running through the forest or running on a forest trail.
Not a bear, not a shadow, something fast, something upright. It moved too quickly and smoothly for any known animal, vanishing within seconds. The team didn't just hear it, they felt it. And when the drone footage went public, even skeptics had to stop and watch.
Do you hear this?
I'm a skeptic and I'm stopping and watching, but I'm not seeing anything about this that says that's not a person running. You gotta give me some kind of indication that this isn't just like a normal dude out running in the woods.
Glowing eyes.
Ha! That looks like a Wampa from Star Trek, from Star Wars.
In 2017, a man encountered something in the woods that left him shaken. Just feet away stood a tall, white-haired figure with glowing red eyes. Not reflective, but shining on their own. It didn't move aggressively or run. It just watched. The hair was long and too clean looking for any wild animal. Even stranger, the air around it felt wrong, like it was warping light or messing
We're going to talk about his mouth. It's got a really weird mouth.
with his senses. Some think it was a rare type of Bigfoot adapted to remote forests. Others believe it wasn't just physical, but something beyond what science can explain. Mysterious observer. In 2012, a group of people walking through a dense
Another one I don't know how we can say, hey, this isn't just a person.
forest stumbled upon a massive black figure watching them from the shadows. Once noticed, the creature calmly walked away and disappeared into the forest, leaving no trace behind. The figure, likely standing between 7 and 9 feet tall, had shaggy
Likely based on what?
black fur, a common description of Bigfoot sightings. The group could only wonder about the
And
creature's
you show a picture of a quadrupedal ape. Interesting choice you've made there.
stealth, as the thick forest made it impossible to track its movements further. This encounter only added to the many unexplainable Bigfoot sightings reported in forests across the world.
It did kind of like Palpatine.
Bigfoot's face.
Ooh.
New trail camera footage shows the face of the elusive giant hiding behind some trees. This recent capture was filmed
What?
in Canada.
I see a
and when this
black
person's
spot.
trail
What do we-
cam went off, he went to the site and started recording. The Bigfoot was hiding from him, but was eerily stalking his every move. He tried to get different angles until finally captured this unbelievable footage. Its mouth with sharp teeth and ape-like nose were all caught on cam. Cameraman got terrified seeing it up close, so
What?
he ran out of there. Bigfoot on tree.
Yeah, it does look like a monkey.
An enigmatic furry creature was caught sitting on top of a tree in Maine, USA. This
Is that a burrow?
unidentifiable entity was sitting at the top and was captured by one of the trail cameras. This Bigfoot even turned around to get a closer look, and it had no facial features that were visible, other than a dark, abyss-like void all over.
Oh, that's a porcupine. Aw, it's a porcupine, guys. What? See, it's one of these guys. Hold on. It's just a little porcupine, little piney dude, not an African porcupine. That's what this is, but like one of these guys, one of these bristly little bros, just bristly little arboreal bros that hang onto the side of trees all the time. Yeah, that's how they live. That's where you'll see them. Is that is that not what we're looking at in this footage? I mean, come on. That's the same guy, right? Load. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. We're not going to fight with it. But let's see. Open image and new tab. There we go. Yeah. So let's draw some comparison. That, 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 that. I think this one's solved in the bank.
Over its face, the tree Bigfoot looked like it had no eyes yet. It's certain that it was staring directly at the camera.
That looks like a freaking monkey. I think it's a snow monkey.
No
Curious
monkey
creature.
in Maine? No, it's a porcupine. They live in Maine. They're cute. I like them a lot.
In 2016, two boys picking fruit in the forest encountered a massive figure that looked a lot like an ape, and it came close to them without them noticing. When the creature started inspecting their fruit basket, the boys, perched in a tree, began filming. The creature, unaware of their presence,
This is obviously like a person in a costume, but I really like the enthusiasm.
moved calmly and methodically, showing signs of curiosity and intelligence. It didn't react to the boys' presence,
It's like Chaka from Land of the Lost.
possibly indicating that it wasn't alarmed by humans. This calm behavior, coupled with its ability to blend into the forest unnoticed, suggests the creature might be nocturnal or extremely stealthy, emerging only when it feels secure. Subscribers pick.
So wait, hold on. If it emerges only when if it's stealthy and emerges only when it's like goes, it's gonna.
Blend into the forest unnoticed, suggests by humans. This calm behavior, coupled with its ability to
It does not like it's blended into the forest. It's very prominent in the. It's where it's located
blend
at,
into the forest unnoticed, suggests the creature might be nocturnal or
and it's the middle of the day. So I don't know what you're saying. It's nocturnal.
extremely stealthy, emerging
It's not stealthy. It's dancing around and jumping around like a person in a monkey costume.
only when it feels secure.
And if it feels secure when there's people 15 feet away video recording it, then it must not be very good at being stealthy, huh? Doesn't meet any of the criteria that you laid out. Just saying.
Subscribers pick. In 2014, a group of friends on a remote trip found themselves face to face with a massive, mysterious figure. The creature charged at them aggressively, sending the group
I love this one.
running in panic. In the chaos, no one could get a clear look at the creature's features, but its size was unmistakable. It seemed to tower over them, with dark,
It doesn't have any neck either.
shaggy fur, a common trait in Bigfoot sightings. The creature's behavior appeared territorial, possibly reacting to the intrusion into its space. Experts believe these creatures are highly aware of their surroundings, hiding until they feel threatened. Its aggressive stance raises questions about the true nature of these cryptid encounters. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.
All right, and the next was what do we have next? The one on the poll. Hold on, gotta check. Gotta roll all the way back up to where I closed the poll down and find out what got second place. Jersey Devil. All right, let's do it. All right, so this is from Top 5 Scary Videos.
Good evening, cryptid lovers of the interwebs. I'm Alexa, resident Ookie Spooky Girly, and we're lucky I'm talking about
I'm an Oogie Spooky Girly too. Yay! Kindred Spirits, Alexa Morgan.
cryptids today and not hockey teams, because while I do know plenty about hockey and I'm from a hockey town, I don't think I could chat about hockey for like 12 to 15 minutes straight.
I don't like hockey. Well, I don't not like hockey.
Question for you all. Do you believe in the Jersey Devil? Let me know in the comments, and welcome to the top 5 scary Jersey Devil sightings caught on camera.
Do I do my own eyebrows? Yeah? Why? My eyebrows are pretty expressive though, so I have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, I make crazy expressions. I'm kind of rubber facey. My mouth and my eyebrows are very expressive. Huh. I think that dude needs to get his eyes checked. Miss Alexa Morgan.
By David Black. So back in 2015, on his way home from work, David, a resident of the Garden State, said he captured a winged animal on camera.
The register, but I gotta turn her down. I gotta turn her down a little bit because she's peeking in my.
All right. So the resident of the Little Egg Harbor Township was driving past.
Let's look at this photo real quick here. It looks like a goat with wings, which we're talking Jersey Devil here, so that's what you guys voted for.
Past a golf course on Route 9 in Galloway when he spotted the monster. He told the local news it was around 6 p.m. in the evening, so kind of darkish, when he saw what he believed to be a llama originally running outside. Are those local to Jersey? Let me know. As he got,
I imagine a lot of people in Jersey have llamas, Alexa. I imagine there's the llama population in Jersey is very least in the thousands.
Closer, he pulled out his camera and snapped a photo, and then suddenly he said the creature sprouted wings and took flight from the course.
Its sprouted wings is an interesting description. Like, it didn't have wings, and then all of a sudden it did have wings. Just poof. Just boom, wings.
Now, David said his heart was racing as he witnessed both incredible wonder and deep-seated nightmarish thoughts while capturing the apparent cryptid. David insisted the picture he took of the Jersey Devil was not photoshopped or a staged thing. Some folks have said it's fake, but it's not, and he's just looking for an explanation about
It's clearly fake, but I mean, for the benefit of the doubt.
what he saw. And like, honestly, that applies to most people, I find, in the cryptid community. We just want to know the truth. So
I do think there's something physically there in the picture, but I don't think it's an organism.
Took a couple of pictures, but only one of them clearly showed the devil as described in dozens of stories.
Does it though?
The picture showed a creature with dark brown fur, wings on its back.
What in the lore of the Jersey Devil ever mentions dark brown fur? I don't think that's the thing that's mentioned. It does look kind of like a piñata, though.
And cloven feet. He described it as a large flying mammal about the size of a deer. At least it wasn't a moose. If you look at the photo, you can clearly see the wings on the creature's back and the horns on its head. And once again, the feet are right, and the fur is dark brown, and it's obviously off the ground. And I didn't see any wires or string holding it up like a piñata, so after his encounter,
could be a piñata.
David said he stared at the photo for about an hour, trying to come up with an explanation for the image he had captured. Now, the myth of the New Jersey Devil dates back to 1935 in American folklore. So it's been around for a minute, it's not a new thing, and this hasn't been debunked yet, so make of that what you will. Number 4, Emily Martin. So, funny thing about that last sighting, only a few days afterwards, a gal named Emily came forward with her own footage of the creature roaming around the same area. We do have the footage to show you, so you can make your own opinion, and I think it's about 17 seconds.
My earbud keeps falling out. Okay, so this is I don't know what to make of this. It looks like, a person in a deer costume with like arm glider wing things. Like, I mean, that's what I'm seeing.
Long. And while you do, I figured now is as good a time as any to give y'all some context on the history of the devil. Since we don't know a lot about Emily's sighting, why not? So the Jersey Devil is a creature native to the Pine Barrens area of, New Jersey. It is often described as having hooves, a snake's tail, bat-like wings, and a head that looks something like a horse. So that checks the last story.
You actually checked the population for me, Brian Stevens? You are the bomb.com. There are llamas in New Jersey. Lots of people raise furry animals to sell their hair to people who make yarn, sheep, alpacas, etc. That's true, Aunt Jer.
The devil might glow. It can also possibly breathe fire or poison water with its breath. Kind of classic dragon characteristics. It's also known as the Leeds Devil, by the way. It doesn't have just one moniker.
I actually like the name Leeds Devil. Like, if I was going to make a comic book character based on this, I would call it the Leeds Devil instead of the Jersey Devil. I wouldn't give it antlers like this picture does either. It seems like it looks better with horns.
Local residents trace its origin to a woman named Mother Leeds, the mistress of a British soldier who was suspected of being a witch. And when she gave birth to her 13th spawn, she cursed it, because having 12 wasn't enough. It was then born as a hairy creature and soon took to terrorizing the populace and eating people. The local tribes called the area Papuasing, meaning place of the dragon. Swedish explorers later named it Drakekill, Drake being a word for dragon, and kill meaning channel or arm of the sea. A couple of fun facts for you this evening. According to AmericanFolklore.net, Joseph Bonaparte,
I like your sweater.
elder brother of, Napoleon, is also claimed to have witnessed the Jersey Devil while hunting on his Bordentown estate around 1820. The Jersey Devil on its own is a
Isn't that the goat man, though? That's our Pope Lick monster that gave us our Pope Lick ale.
popular creature in New Jersey, with its image on quite a number of products. And yes, this is how the New Jersey Devils, the hockey team, got named, which I didn't know until this year. But it's
I knew that. Yeah.
It's also quite the popular image outside of the date.
I'm way ahead of you. What's her name again? Morgan? Something like that. She's not Emily Martin. Who is she? She said her name. Alexa Morgan. Morgan's her last name, not her first name.
It's one of those major American monsters that gets mentioned rather frequently in pop culture, books about the strange, the paranormal, and the unexplained. I think to date 2 fictional movies have been made about the devil, The Last Broadcast and 13th.
Fun fact about The Last Broadcast is sometimes it's considered the first true found footage film because it preceded the Blair Witch Project, which kind of set the genre off, but it was released like 8 months or 9 months before, something like that.
Little one, Legend of the Jersey Devil, but let me know if there's any more because I would love to watch them. This creature has also appeared numerous times in modern pop culture, including other films, television, literature, music, and video games, like Wolf Amongst Us, where the devil works for the Crooked Man.
Cool.
The creature was also the focus of the X-Files episode, The Jersey Devil. Unlike more common and fantastic descriptions, the Jersey Devil of the episode is instead likened to a feral humanoid or possible subspecies of mankind. While this
I am also a possible subspecies of mankind. Interesting.
Flies in the face of all the traditional descriptions of the character. The lack of special effects budgeting in the early episodes of The X-Files undoubtedly forced the producers to make a more cost-effective version of the creature. But, I love it. Number 3, a case of teenage bravery, or stupidity if you're asking me. Johnny Ramsey is not the first member of his family to have spotted the Jersey Devil, with his grandma, dad, and boss at work having shared their own tales of spotting with him. So he grew up unafraid to, see it around. It's there? Great. Cool. His logic was that since
they have this idea of it being it's like a kangaroo with wings here.
The Jersey Devil was always described as a shy, somewhat benign creature that was never aggressive, and only visible enough for a witness to catch a small glimpse of him. It was something to feel sorry for instead of fearing, and something he really wanted to get a photo of. So back in February, he was working on a farm.
Is this his photo in the background here? This looks like a painting.
With his brother's girlfriend, Janice, who didn't have a driver's license, and being a good person, he would drive her back and forth to work every day. The pair often worked late evening shifts, so poor Johnny would be driving Janice home in pitch black conditions, and her home was very deep in the forest, in the middle of nowhere. Well, one night after dropping her off, Johnny was driving along the gravel road on the last stretch before the main highway when he was overcome with a feeling of something or someone watching him.
Bad vibes. It's always vibes. Always vibes with these creatures.
Which led him to pull over and stop his car. He was smart enough to keep his doors locked at first and kept a large wrench under his seat for safety that he was confident he could use if need be. He sat there for a while trying to calm down and was looking around to see if he could spot what might have been bothering him in the woods or on the road.
When someone's creeping me out when I'm driving down the road, I like to pull over and get out of my vehicle in the woods. That's my first instinct. Surprised this guy's still alive.
In the car, he ventured a few steps away, with his phone camera out, trying once again to see past the large trees in the area, but spotted nothing weird and returned to his car. He started driving slowly down the road and noticed movement from the top of one of the tallest trees. So he stopped the car again, stared in the direction, trying to get his eyes to focus. And once his eyes had finally adjusted, he described what he saw as something larger than a man, with a huge head, sitting in a half-crouched position as if it was ready to spring from its hind legs at any moment. It was sadly
Is that a cow skull?
too dark to make out any other specifics against the dark sky, but he was able to snag a picture. Deep in a state of concentration at staring whatever was in the bushes, Johnny accidentally let his foot slip from the clutch and his car stalled the engine. The creature's head whipped around suddenly at the noise and took off in one swift motion. As it was taking off, Johnny didn't see any wings.
Kind of does look like a horse or a donkey there, doesn't it? You're not wrong. It was a donkey face.
on its back, but heard a loud whooshing noise like large wings would make. In addition to hearing this, Johnny was able to make out some very powerful looking legs that were bent at the knees like a horse's legs would be. Since the car was now stalled and quiet, he was able to hear a large screech and whoosh of air above him that grew fainter within seconds. So whatever this thing was, it was fast and powerful. As the creature took off, the bushes on the tree almost bent in half. The thrashing and
I'm neither fast nor powerful. I'm a human. We suck, physically speaking.
swaying for a long time after it left. Johnny panicked, managed to get the car started, and
See, and that looks more like a Bigfoot in that picture, right? Jersey Devils sometimes described like a Bigfoot. You know, it kind of mixes it
drove
up.
back to Janice's house in a tizzy, not even remembering to close the car door as he barged into the home and started babbling about what he had seen. And Janice's dad calmly told him that, yeah, he must have seen the Jersey Devil. He drove Johnny back to the spot where he'd seen it and confirmed there was definitely a disturbance in the bushes on that side of the road. He told Johnny that he'd had
There's a disturbance in the force. That they put a hammerhead bat's head on like a monkey body. This is wild.
quite a few sightings of the Jersey Devil on his land before, but had never said anything to his wife or daughter so they wouldn't get freaked out. So, big whoopsie on Johnny's front for that one. Now, he did post a picture online, and hopefully we still have it, but you never quite know with supernatural pictures. They tend to go poof sometimes. Number 2, a bachelor party gone wrong. So David Bennett described himself as living
Bachelor party gone wrong. Story of my life. All of my misadventures begin this way.
around 15 to 20 minutes from the infamous Leeds Point birthplace of the Jersey Devil, having grown up going to the Pines often to ride, dirt bikes, explore old abandoned houses, and paintball. As a local resident, he described the local Jersey Devil lore that, simply that was in his life, never taking it for more than an urban legend. As a teenager, he had investigated the old Leeds house where the previous sightings took place, saying that it was just crumbling foundation, nothing spooky. For his buddy Max's bachelor party, all of their friends agreed that a full weekend ride and camp out would be perfect, and David was thrilled, having just finished restoring a dirt bike that he wanted to test out. So the group drove out to the area and found
we kind of don't need his life story though.
a clearing that was quite odd, with no plants, and seemed like the perfect.
Do tree donkeys have wings though? It seems like something that this organism, whatever it may be, has wings. Llamas don't have wings either, but they could knit their own wings from llama wool. But donkeys don't have any wool.
Perfect area to set up camp for the weekend without disturbing nature. And at the time, David was unaware of the concept of Devil's Tramping Grounds, which are cleared circles in heavily forested areas where demons like to frequent. Just
hell yeah. That's what I look for when I'm going camping.
a piece of useful information for anyone looking to recreate what's about to happen. The party set up and rode all day, partied all night, and nothing really strange occurred that first evening. The next morning, the sky was overcast and looked like it was going to stay that way for the day, ruining the guys' plans, but they opted to try and make the most of the trip. They partied the best they could that day, coming and going from their campsite, which was easy to find from the patch of gravel at the entrance to the area, and that night most of the group had passed out around midnight, exhausted from the constant partying. Around 3 a.m., nature calling woke David up, so he grabbed his cell phone and stumbled over to the gravel patch to take care of business. And as he sobered up, he noticed that the area, known for loud animal noises at night, was eerily silent. He originally assumed that he had spooked the wildlife, but he started to get the feeling
You probably did. Wildlife is very aware when humans are in the area.
that he was being watched. As he tried to shake off said feeling,
A flying ass. Nice, Brian Stevens. Oh yeah, why would you warn your wife and daughter about a wild creature running around your own property?
he heard a sound he described as hooves clopping on that gravel patch, and saw the silhouette of something resembling a
Clopping means something different in certain online communities.
deer in the bright moonlight. He soon realized it wasn't an actual deer when the creature shifted its head and the moon revealed a
Oh my gosh! I like how they atrophy its arms. It's like a goat with tiny arms walking on its hind legs with little bat wings.
puzzled look on its face, along with glowing, beady red eyes. David's logic was that if he moved slowly enough, maybe the creature wouldn't spot him, so he tried inching back towards the tent and accidentally crushed a beer can with his foot, startling the creature. As it fled, David
How many times does that happen? You're sneaking around the campground and trip over some beer cans.
snapped a picture, heard the clapping of the hooves, and what he described as the sound of a huge
Is
bird
this the
taking off.
picture?
He tried looking for footprints in the dark, using his phone flashlight, but a massive downpour of rain started, washing away any possible evidence before he could, capture that. He did get one picture of the creature though, so we should have it, and come morning, David was just trying to forget about the entire night.
We should have it. You're gonna show it?
Number 1, a sighting near an abandoned house.
Wait, was that
David
it?
before he could, his phone flashlight, but a massive downpour of rain started, washing away any possible evidence in the dark, heard the clapping of the hooves,
Is
and what he
this
was
the
startling
image?
the creature. As it
That looks like art.
Fled, David snapped a picture, heard the clapping of the hooves, and what he described as the sound of a huge bird taking off. He tried looking for footprints in the dark, using his phone flashlight, but a massive downpour of rain started, washing away any possible evidence before he could, capture that. He did get one picture of the creature though, so we should have it. And come morning, David, last year, Logan Pierce and some of his friends decided to make the 30-minute drive from their place to Pine Barrens, not looking for anything in particular, but they wanted to find proof of the existence of the Jersey Devil. The drive took them down Bulltown Road, near Batstow Village, a place rumored to be home to previous sightings, and they passed by an old abandoned house and didn't really think much of it. After a while of not seeing much aside from deer and the occasional owl, the group decided to head back the way they came and call it a night, before batteries died. As they passed by that old house again though, they saw what they described as bright green eyes peering out a window. They took a picture of it.
Oh, I know this one. Yay!
And made the quick decision to drive up to the house, but then the eyes disappeared. A strange noise then caught the attention of Logan and his friend, who was in the front seat next to him. She was shining her flashlight around on her phone and caught sight of something swooping over the car, describing it as darker in color and larger than any bird she knew of. By the time the group could
I don't know if that picture goes with this story though. That picture's from a trail cam.
react to it though, nothing was around. They all left the car to investigate, but all that could be found
No photo, just the painting.
were hoof prints in the sandy soil that were too big to be those of a deer and too small to be from a horse. The group eventually left.
There's also the fact that deer and horses have completely different shaped hooves. Deer have 2 hooves, like that, and a horse is just one. Horses actually walk like this. They walk on their middle fingers. So a horse is flipping you off, but it has no choice because those are the only fingers it has left.
Left home that night, but have vowed to return again soon to gather more evidence, and I wish them luck and safety. And that brings us to the end of our time, and if there wasn't any proof for some of the stuff I talked about today, I apologize, but sadly, cryptid footage doesn't usually have a long shelf life on the internet, and things often get taken down by the government being all stinky like. If you enjoyed my ramblings, could you help us out by giving this video a like, subscribing if you aren't already, hit the bell for more cryptid content from us here at Top 5 Scary Videos, and I'll see y'all next time, you love the spooky people.
I'm a spooky people. I consider myself a spooky people anyway. Sometimes. I'm trying to find something to watch real quick for an interview. Let me see. Because I don't have anything loaded on here. But I need something that's just a couple minutes so I can go to the bathroom. And I'll be back because we have a couple more videos to unpack before the night's over. I wanted to make sure that I gave you all plenty of time. Ooh, I didn't even know I had this on here. How long is that? Oh, it won't play anyway. Of course not. I have like stuff downloaded, but not like a ton. Let's do, how long is that one? Personal is running on your, what are you talking about? What are you even talking about? All right, we'll go back to the stream here. That's not what we wanted. Sorry. I thought I had this laid out already. Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't. Why would I do things to make my life easier? That just seems like a lot of extra work when I can just do things flying by the seat of my pants and hope for the best. Because that's how we roll. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do that. Because people like that song. I didn't realize how much people like this song, but we're going to play it. Oh, here we go. This is a fan favorite. go. I'm going to blow it all the way up because I'll be back. I'll be back in just a minute. Enjoy the musical stylings of Mr. Alex Jones.
Leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, "Oh, I killed a cow out back, baby." You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them, and skin them, and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna get my hands around your throat.
Oh, it's fun time with Alex Jones, of course. And actually, we're gonna do a shot. So I'll chase this with some white cranberry strawberry juice, which I love. It's like my fave. All right. Got the alien time. It's tempting to make just a cocktail with this. I think I might actually do that instead of doing a shot. Think I should make a cocktail or a shot? He loves eating ass. I don't know. You don't have to be gay to eat ass. You don't have to be gay to eat ass. Oh, y'all get the bonus material of me walking over here looking sexy. Ooh, 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 ooh. Because. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hello. All right. Worst lawyer ever. Ugh. Well, that's not too bad. All right. So let's do the Bigfoot with the Jersey Devil. Let's move on to lizard people.
You all have heard about that woman that freaked out on the plane and demanded to be let off because she thought she saw a reptilian man. Basically, there's a conspiracy theory out there that reptiles live among us and they disguise themselves as humans. Well, today we are going to be looking some evidence that maybe reptilian.
That's not what happened there, though, is it? It wasn't a reptilian. Just that guy's not real. But she became like a MAGA grifter, I believe, was what her fate became. Oh, Maya's here. Hello. I'm awake. I'm here. Hello.
Do live among us, and I'll be reacting to some reptiles caught on camera.
All rise for the reptilian anthem.
One of the theories is that a lot of news.
What is the reptilian anthem? Put your suggestion in the in the comments.
Reporters are actually reptilians. So let's take a look at this video.
Chuck did a terrible job the first time.
You can't tell me you ain't see that.
Bro, that looked pretty.
So, like, the light hitting your eyes at different angles causes some weird effects. We're going to see it a lot here. And camera's trying to keep up with and capture subtle changes in light refraction in a small, tiny space like a person's eyes. Yeah.
Pretty legit. The dude's eyes literally just shape shifted on live TV. Like, you were caught, bud. You were doing something fishy there, and I don't like that at all.
No, not right now.
Then why should they buy one of ours?
Why not?
Because we can't buy one of theirs. Open up the market.
Very, very well.
Clarice.
Dude, no normal person hisses at someone when they're like bothered. You know, if I'm getting in a fight, I'm not going.
Girl, have you not ever seen? Have you never seen The Silence of the Lambs? Like, for real? That was Hannibal Lecter. Eat your liver with the fine Chianti. Was it, fava beans and a fine Chianti? This Hannibal Lecter says that, and he says Clarice, just like Hannibal Lecter.
I don't even know how you did it like that. Like, that is straight up something a reptilian would do. You got caught again on live TV. That kind of makes sense if reporters are reptilians and they're controlling our narrative in the media. Conspiracy.
Says when it comes to the coronavirus, the state is trending in the right direction. Live in Boston, John Coco, 7 News, Today New England.
A Massachusetts state.
Look, another one, another news reporter. What is with his eyes? They straight up changed, like, and flashed back to his reptilian eyes.
Y'all just, like, people just don't know how light and cameras works. I guess I don't know what else to say at this point.
They were a fully different color as well. I don't like this. I'm getting so sussed out. And there's
Aliens.
also another theory that Katy Perry is either a reptilian or she's being possessed by the devil, or both. Because take a look at this.
Or she's hot garbage.
Her eye literally malfunctioned on stage and she was like, go back to normal. Even if that was a part of her act, like, why? And
I don't think it was part of her act. I think it was part of her, her stuff was malfunctioned and her lashes were dragging it down, and she's like, and then it happened again. It's weird. It looks really weird.
And then take a look at this clip of her on stage and she gets really tired and she's like, Master, I don't feel so well. Master!
She's talking to the devil. It's not reptilian. She's just telling the devil, who gave her her fame. Instead of me. You know, Satan, I said, hey, you know what? Give me some of that pop star fame. I could be little Miss Thing up here. And the devil's like, nah, we're going a different direction. That different direction was Katy Perry.
You know, there's a whole theory that, like, celebrities sacrifice someone or do some weird ritual.
You leave Lady Gaga out of this. You hear me?
So that they can become famous.
Hear me?
And people think that Katy Perry did that.
Go after Katy Perry all you want, but you leave Lady Gaga out of this. I'm not even joking.
So she could become famous, and now she's being controlled by, like, Satan or something, and she's like, Master, I don't feel so. Watch out for Katy Perry, okay? She's a little sketchy. One person that I
agreed. We can agree.
Truly believe is a reptile is Mark Zuckerberg, and you cannot convince me otherwise. He is. There's just so many clips of him being so weird. Like this clip of him, and it's funny, somebody labeled it as Mark Zuckerberg drinking water for the first time.
Time limits will be and must be strictly enforced given the numbers
He is a
that
weird
we
guy.
have here today.
That's true.
If you're over your time, Chairman Thune and I will make sure to let you know that we have here today. If you're over your time...
Why is he sipping his water like that? Literally like a lizard. And then there was that whole other interview.
Show me a video or a clip or anything of a lizard sipping its water like that. My hair's got like a tangle in it.
Where he doesn't blink like once. His eyes are open the whole time and he's talking and he doesn't blink. And I tried to find it, and guess what? All video clips have been erased from YouTube. I'm not even kidding. I'll try and find a different clip, but the one I was looking for has been erased. And that was the most like suspicious interview of Mark Zuckerberg.
I hope you are all staying.
There's also clips of him showing that he doesn't like express feelings or anything like that. Like take a look. He has no emotion.
The reason so many people think Mark Zuckerberg talks like a robot is because he just doesn't move his face. Look at his expressions, they're static.
And then remember that one time that he got
My
exposed
expressions are all over the place. So you know I'm not a reptilian.
Online, yeah, we can't forget about that.
Girls?
Whoa.
All right. Sorry. Yeah, that's okay. It is a warm hoodie.
Yeah, no, it's a thick hoodie. It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What? Oh, my
really?
God, the inside of the hoodie, everybody. Take a moment. What is it? Making the world more open and connected. Oh my God, it's like a secret cult. Weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati. I read Dan Brown on the...
So what's the...
Look how nervous and sweaty and clammy he got when he realized...
Nervous, sweaty, and clammy is just Mark Zuckerberg. Like, for real? For real? It's just him. Yeah, and like Maya said, yeah, it couldn't possibly be Botox is why he can't move his face. Yeah, he's a rich person. They get all the work done to make themselves look all young and pretty.
That he got caught. So something is sus about Mark Zuckerberg, okay? And if something happens to me, it's on Marky Mark here.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human, still.
Here's another one.
I was human, so he was. Well, gotta watch the teeth.
I thought they were about to say that Mr. Obama over here is a reptilian, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can kind of see that, you know, he was the president. What happened to his teeth? He's like, ooh, Obama. I don't like that man at all. He's very suspicious. I don't like him. He looks scary. No.
A former reporter for the LA branch has a history of potentially transforming.
Now, we talk about the mother's arrest, but the mother says that her 16-year-old daughter,
reptilian,
the victim in this case.
You know, crawling out of the center of the earth as a reptilian overlord and then being like, you know what? I'm going to be a news broadcaster. Just be careful when you put the camera on me because you never know when I'm going to shapeshift. We'll be on camera all the time.
Case was also arrested here back on September 18th. Now keep in mind, this is the family story, their account of what they see happened here on campus earlier this month. Unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment, but keep in mind, a mother and daughter baffled over how a celebration with cake...
He fully started getting scales on his face, and they're like, oh, and they changed the camera angle. At first, I thought it was the TV grain, but it started getting worse and worse, and they're like, oh, we're gonna shift the camera because this dude is
I'm not sure what's happening
there.
Definitely does like camera
Can't have that.
well,
forces and protecting the population
more eye
and
changes.
minimizing civilian casualties have long been a cornerstone of the counterinsurgency doctrine. Civilian casualties have long been a cornerstone of the counterinsurgency doctrine.
Okay, I think this
she blinked one set of eyes, then she blinked another. It looks like that maybe have been a jump cut. Let's watch it again.
Just because her eyes clearly shift, and then like it goes back to being part, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, she has normal eyes, and then they shift, and it's like, whoa, that's scary, and then it kind of goes back to her looking normal with her new eyes.
It's like I was saying. It's like I was saying earlier, though, the changes in camera angles and the frame rate and lighting, they're all going to cause this sort of phenomena, if you will.
It's everyone in the media. Ugh.
Yeah, his friends at the news station were so okay with it that when he started to shapeshift, they're like, "Oh, we need to cut away from Brandon. He's going full reptilian again. We can't have that on the news." Did Brandon get written up for that? Is the question.
What the fuck is that? That is not a lens flare.
He literally, his eyes changed color. They turned from like a dark brown to like a light gray.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice. Is that her friend? Hold on.
To like a light gray.
So I was looking at
Brown to like a light gray.
So I was looking at this old live photo on in my camera roll. Now I'm convinced my girlfriend is a lizard person. What the fuck's going on here?
Oh, honey.
So it sounds like maybe you don't know how eyes work. So like they adjust to the lighting. So when you blink and you open your eyes back up, when you blink and your eyes are closed, the pupil gets big, and you open it back up, and the pupil goes swoosh, and then I guess because the light hits it, and then it adjusts to make it so you can see. So it goes, close your eyes. Okay, so you close your eyes for a second, and your pupils expand, relax into that relaxed space. Open your eyes, right? Your pupil tightly contracts because all of a sudden it's bombarded with light, right? So your pupil contracts, and then as your eyes adjust, and everybody's felt this when you walked into a light room or anything like that, the pupil expands, right? It adjusts. It might expand and then retract again, and then expand again. Or it might, depending on what kind of lighting conditions you're walking into. But your eye is going to change.
Your friend is a reptile. Your friend is a reptile. That was probably the creepiest one just because you literally could see the slit eyes. In a matter of seconds, she blinked and is like, bro, you're a reptile. Man, you can't even trust your friends now.
That was his girlfriend.
Last March at a home in Tempe. Court paperwork shows Isaiah Gentry is accused of hitting his dad in the head with a statue before stabbing him 20 times with a steak knife. Police say Gentry told them he tried to kill his father because a, quote, shape-shifting reptile had taken over.
This story creeped me out like crazy.
That's freaky. That's like some Son of Sam kind of nonsense right there.
Because this is an 18-year-old who killed his dad because he said that his dad was taken over by a shape-shifting reptile and it was no longer his dad. Excuse me? Excuse me, sir? And this isn't the only time it's happened.
It's some Son of Sam nonsense. See, Brian Stevens says she has eyes painted on her eyes, or on her lids. The kids do it, like the Jack Sparrow thing, where you have like when you close your eyes, you have like another eye painted on it. That's kind of cool.
And there's been other cases of people killing other people saying that
they
were a reptile and they saw it. So, I don't know what's going on with the world, but I'm a little freaked out.
Adrenochrome production. What are you all talking about out here in the side chat? Holy shit. I'm missing something awesome. Hellbound Hillbilly. This is from Maya. It says it instills fear in the plebes, which they use to feed on. Okay, we're talking about reptilians, obviously. And then tilting windmill. That host hasn't heard a conspiracy theory that she didn't immediately believe. Yeah. Maya Atkinson. Oh yeah, got to ensure the adrenochrome production. See, you get it. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about the conspiracy.
Let me know in the comments below if you believe in like reptilians or aliens or I don't know, but you can let me know. And if you want to see part 2, also let me know in the comments below. While you're also down there commenting, make sure you smash that like button. Obviously, subscribe to my channel. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers.
Lindsay Ivan, I feel like we've covered her before with something. What did Lindsay Ivan cover before that we talked about? Because we've met Lindsay before. She does like herself some conspiracies. I don't know what it was. It was something like this, though, for sure. All right. We're going to move right along. Right along to the last video of the night. It's not super short, though, so we got another half an hour. Because this is probably going to run. Oh, we may run close to the 3-hour mark, which is kind of what I was going for, but I might start a little bit earlier. I started at 8:30 tonight. If I continue to do this, I don't even know if I'm going to continue to do this or not. But this was fun for me. I ate some freaking Asian food, had some drinks, smoked some vapes, and watched some freaking cryptid videos, which is what this channel is all about. So we're going to continue that tradition. We're going to start right in with 30 most convincing werewolf encounters ever caught. Hope you all are ready for this.
Look. Right there, look.
That's a dog. That's a person in a costume.
People love sitting around a campfire and telling stories about mythical creatures like werewolves, but what happens when these beasts step into reality and terrorize us? From soldiers hunting down werewolves
I'm
during
glad you
war.
made it. I'm glad you made it, Maya. I know it's like super late there. It's like what, almost 1 a.m. there. But if you can fall asleep to the sound of my voice, sweetie, that'd be amazing. Me and Maya actually have cuddled. We fell asleep listening to Gurr streams one night in St. Louis. It was pretty sweet. We just crashed. And this was before crashing became whatever they call crashing out now, where you like lose your shit. But what we did was we crashed. We like literally fell asleep. It was a nice moment for me. Maya is one of my best friends, so be nice to her because she's the goddess in my chat.
To monsters destroying a man's farm, here are 30
That was a
most
bear.
convincing werewolf encounters ever caught.
We got 30 werewolf encounters. 30 of them.
The following footage comes from a German history documentary, and it shows a hidden evil that appeared during the war in 1942.
I like the
An evil so supernatural that anyone who encountered it was left scarred for life.
I like the idea of French werewolves during World War II. I just like that. It's the thing. And I don't remember if you all watched this, like my Beast of Gévaudan video. Actually, let me see. Let's see, Beast of. There we go. We're gonna do that. Go. We're gonna do, and I actually don't have to pause this to talk the whole time because this is why I like the idea of French werewolves during World War II. And just focus on the Brie.
Let's go back. We gotta go 50s. The year without a summer was a little ice age. Check it. Okay, so.
I passed, Brie. Take it from here, would ya?
Way back. This is all the wolf attacks in all the world. We want to go back to here. Now, see, we're starting back in the 1700s, the 18th century. And if you look right here, it'll tell you what district that these wolf attacks are taking place in. If you notice a trend, raise your hand. I mean, obviously Italy has some problems too. Look at that. Italy, North Italy, but as you know from looking at this, southern France and North Italy. They're not all that far apart. There's Turin right there. Yeah, Italy and southern France are neighbors, so that's not surprising. That's a good spot to start with the list, though. Like, check this out. So, starting with Gévaudan.
Gévaudan.
Let's see, as we move our way up. France, France. France, France, France. France, France. France, France, France. France, France, France. France, France. France, France, France. France, France, France. It's starting to lose meaning. France, France, France. France, 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 France. I sound like one of the seabirds from Finding Nemo, except for instead of saying mine, I'm saying France. France, France, France. France, 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 France. 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 And back to North Italy. France, France, France. France, France.
So the French werewolves obviously vacation in North Italy, at least in the early days. They don't do it so much later on.
France, 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 France. France, France, France.
Oh, did you see Turin on there? Yeah, Turin's pretty close to the French border too. About like an hour away, I think it is.
Are you getting the point, France? France, 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 France. France, 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 France. France, 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 France. France, 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 France. And the Netherlands, France, 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 France. We're up to 1811. France, 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 France. France, France, France.
A little bit of a wolf problem in France.
Is the message I'm laying down coming?
A lot of werewolf problems in France is the message I'm getting from you, Past Free. What do you got to say about it?
Real France, 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 France. There's a wolf problem in France. In the Little Ice Age. France, 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 France. France, 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 France. Oh my gosh. I didn't expect it to be this long. Look at that. Jesus. There's not even any other places named here.
Just France.
How far until we're not in France anymore? Estonia. 1820. But then it jumps right back to France. And then Prussia, which is, yeah. And then more France. Are we getting the point? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? There was a wolf problem in France. All right.
So that's why I'm like, hell yeah, werewolves in France. Let's do it. Let's go. Oh yeah.
The soldiers had gotten intel of a monster living in the woods, except that this creature only appeared under the moonlight and devoured anyone who dared stand against it. They had to tackle it in daylight and take down the fabled werewolf.
Do you think there was a theme there, Maya? Is it a French theme?
They went in, found the werewolf, and shot it. But that was only the beginning of the horror that'd be unleashed upon them, because anyone who looked at
this is real, because your arm sticks up like this when you die. It stays raised in the air when rigor mortis sets in. Your arms don't fall down to your side. They stay raised up. That's how it happens.
That this monster would suffer from its vision for the rest of their lives.
The overexposure's a nice touch, though.
In 2017, a man in Paraguay got a motion alert on his phone from the security camera. But while he initially thought he had a bunch of stray dogs running outside his house, the reality was much more terrifying.
It looks like someone's walking down the street getting attacked by stray dogs. Which happens to me from time to time.
The video started with someone trying to fend off a stray dog. However, as they left the frame, the video kept going. And at that point, the man realized there was something else in the frame, and it was approaching quickly.
Another dog. Dog. Are dogs scary now? I thought dogs were our friends.
A large, shadowy figure walked into the light, its eyes looking feral, almost as if it wasn't even an animal. However,
What do you mean if it wasn't? What do you mean if it wasn't even an animal? You think it's a ghost?
Footage thought he'd seen a werewolf in disguise. Many think this was just a strange-looking dog.
Yeah, it's just a... No, it's not even a strange-looking dog. It's a normal-looking dog. Completely normal-looking. Nothing strange about it. Stop being weird. What is weird about that dog?
In 2019...
Besides, it's got its tail tucked because there's a freaking German Shepherd, and it's like a skinny little whippet or something like a black greyhound or something. Something really light, little skinny dog. And there's a German Shepherd losing its shit over there. So it's like got its tail tucked and stuff. I mean, look at that. Nothing creepy about it. Chicken. That would be too if there was a German Shepherd.
In 2019, a small community in Brazil lived in fear of a beast that appeared one day out of nowhere and continued to terrorize them.
I think I've seen this one
That
before.
is until one man decided to take
This is the werewolf costume.
matters into his own hands and confront the creature.
That was like stock audio wolf howling.
He followed the beast's footsteps into someone's backyard, and the second he heard the howl, he knew he was at the right spot. Now, all he had to do was buckle up and prepare to face the monster.
Oh, trouble now. You're gonna get mauled by a werewolf.
There it was in all its glory. A werewolf hiding behind a table, staring right back at the man who'd mustered up the courage to fight it. Just when he thought he had the chance to attack, however, things went south.
How did it go south? Is that a costume? It really does look like a costume. I keep losing my earbuds. Probably because I'm messing with my hair, though. Closes the door, yeah.
Hiking alone
Not a
in the
bad
woods
idea.
seems like a fun idea, until you come across something that turns it into a nightmare. And that's exactly what happened to this guy, who spotted a creature standing behind a big oak tree.
I
How
don't
it's
know
not
if that's
Bigfoot.
a head, a face I'm seeing,
Clearly, it's Sasquatch.
or what. Whoa,
Maybe
I
it's
just seen
alien.
something move over here. I hope I got that on film. I don't know.
He hid behind the bushes as soon as he spotted the creature, and even though he was putting his life at risk, he had to follow the beast to get clear footage. The deeper he went into the woods, however, the worse it got.
Doom. Never follow Bigfoot into the forest. Never follow a Bigfoot back home. You're not prepared for the Bigfoot hospitality you will encounter there.
Was it a werewolf or a Bigfoot? He wasn't sure. All he knew was that this monster was on the move, and if he didn't get out of the woods, he could end up losing his life.
Why do, if it's so, I guess I wonder why people just assume that, oh, it's a cryptid, so it's going to kill me. Like, even if it was a cryptid, it'd still be an animal, right? Cryptids are, cryptozoology is the study of unknown animal. Cryptids are unknown animals, which means they're animals, which means it's going to act like an animal. People put like all this, oh, it's going to murder me and stuff. So weird.
In April 2021, a group of friends were hiking through the woods at night when they spotted a large humanoid creature in the distance. What they didn't realize, though, was that getting closer to investigate would be a big mistake.
Unless you're wanting to make your own found footage viral video, then it's a good idea.
Onde ele foi, mano? Tem que matar, gente. Cadê ele?
It all
Was that a donkey? I think that was a donkey.
Onde ele foi, mano? Tem que matar, gente.
It definitely sounds like a donkey, and then there's a roar.
Cadê ele?
It all went wrong
Maybe
when
a
the werewolf
bear.
started.
Like a donkey and a bear.
Screaming at them, and by the time they realized they were in danger, it was already too late. The monster was coming, and they had to run for
Somebody
their
had a gun.
lives.
He's waving around a fucking gun in the dark, and there's donkey's brain. Holy shit! This is how someone like dies, and there's like, oh, a Bigfoot hunter shot, and prank gone wrong.
If they had one thing going for them, though, it was that they had guns. And amidst all the panic, they were composed enough to take the shot. What they found after the mayhem, however, was horrific.
It's not a donkey. Where's the donkey that you shot?
The following footage comes
Lycanthrope. They shot a lycanthrope, you guys.
from Argentina, where an Uber driver was filming the streets at 3 in the morning when he heard a strange howl in the distance. But as he followed the noise and got closer, things got scarier.
Did you see that there's a person walking back there in the background too? Right there. Oh.
Heard a strange howl in the distance, but as he followed the noise,
there's a person walking right there. I can see him.
And got closer, things got scarier.
Person's still walking there. The dog's walking in the front, but the person walking back there.
The howls were coming from a black dog-like creature in the distance. However, there was something strange about it.
Dog-like creature? You mean a dog?
Because even though it walked on all fours, its head wasn't normal. The driver had to get closer.
Is it wearing a muzzle?
The closer he got, the worse it got. This wasn't an ordinary dog, and the driver realized that too. He was looking at a real werewolf with a humanoid face.
Is it wearing a mask? Oh, I think it's not even a mask. It's just like a muzzle. Does it look like a humanoid face to you?
Howls of dogs wake up a Brazilian man at night because, unlike most other nights, one howl doesn't sound like the others. When he goes out to investigate, however, he realizes the thing he was chasing wasn't a dog at all.
Was it a person pretending to be a dog?
The creature appears to walk on all fours, but there's something off about it, almost as if it's humanoid and is trying to mimic a dog's walk. And just when the man starts getting suspicious, the creature transforms.
Did it transform, or did it just stand up and start walking normal? He realized the neighbor was watching him. Sure he wasn't. Sounds like maybe he was doing some, maybe some role playing, or even a spiritual practice of some kind, where he's like connecting with his inner animal or something, and maybe you like caught him and embarrassed him. He's like, oh shit. Stood up and ran away.
The man is certain he's seen a werewolf the second it stands on its legs and starts running, and now he has to chase it down to get a clear view, because otherwise this monster will haunt the neighborhood forever.
You're gonna hunt this neighbor down? He's just walking down the sidewalk now? Because they were crawling on all fours?
Imagine going to the woods with your friends for a relaxing vacation, only to spot something so spine-chilling it scars you for life. Because that's exactly what happened to these folks right outside their cabin.
Dude, you see that?
Is it a Squatch?
No, dude, what? No, dude, you see that? Oh my god.
It's a Squatch.
They thought a wild dog was approaching them from the woods, but
Until
they had no idea what was about to be unleashed upon them. This thing was no mere dog, and the second it stood up, they knew they had to run for their lives.
Bryson, tell me you don't see that.
I see it. It's a dude.
Ellie, come on.
In 2009, people in Paraguay stumbled upon an animal's carcass in the woods. When they walked up to take a closer look, however, they realized this thing wasn't just any animal, the legendary Paraguay beast, the Luizon.
It's the Luizon. In what way? An art piece, I don't know.
Manifesting as a giant dog with extended front limbs, the Louison was said to be a mythical creature born as the 7th male child in a family. But everyone's reality was shattered when they saw this myth turn into reality in front of their eyes. In 2020, a man was streaming on Facebook talking to the audience when he noticed something strange whizzing past his window. But while he initially thought it could...
We all know werewolves are known for whizzing. If you see whizzing, it might be a werewolf.
...could have been an animal, the reality was much more terrifying.
Is it whizzing? See it whiz?
That's the exact motherfucking spot now.
No one believed him at first, saying he must have been seeing things, but the man was adamant, so much so that he was willing to put his life at risk and step outside to prove everyone wrong.
How is his life at risk?
He did.
My backyard. Zoom it in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just...
He thought it was a dog man, but many believe he saw a real werewolf in his backyard.
I hope it was a real werewolf.
The following footage comes from a Sasquatch researcher, Scott Carpenter. And while he's caught several cryptids during his excursions, this video he captured in the woods might have been his best work.
Why are we looking at a screenshot or a video of a screen? Why are we not looking at just a regular video?
He was hiding behind some bushes in the woods, looking right at a massive, shadowy figure in front of him. Despite the danger, however, Scott was calm enough to get his camera and record the encounter.
The werewolf was just a big blur. When a werewolf whizzes, it just turns into a blur. So the whizzing werewolves of Wisconsin.
This is arguably one of the clearest cryptid videos ever recorded, and with Scott's record...
This is what gave me the video title here, the clearest cryptid video ever captured. Every cryptid video says it's the clearest ever captured. Seldom is that actually pan out to be true, though.
...to be real as well. But the question remains, is this a Sasquatch, a dog man, or worse, a werewolf?
What if it's a fucking bear? What if it's a bear? The blur phenomenon, exactly.
In August 2014, news from Mexico took over social media by storm when it was discovered that a nahual had been terrorizing a neighborhood in Veracruz. But here's the kicker.
Matado a un nahual, y es que las características de este animal no se asemeja a alguno de la zona. Además, conforme pasan los días,
it literally looks like a dog got stuck on a fence and died.
A nahual is a human who has the ability to shapeshift into an animal, almost like a werewolf. And these residents wouldn't let a monster walk around their neighborhood like that, so they took action and attacked it before it could attack them.
Tuxtla, San Andrés Tuxtla y Catemaco son
it looks like it's just a dog, maybe a coyote, but definitely a dog. Oh, could be a wolf. I'm thinking Veracruz, there's too many wolves out.
De misticismo, lugares de brujos, donde el bien y el mal juegan un papel.
The creature looked like a messed up dog, but they were sure it was a nahual because of its fangs and its dark fur. And to solidify the...
What about its fangs? Its dentition looks like a dog to me. And I mean, I hate to brag, but I know a thing or two about dentition.
Their claim even further, they found a ritual site nearby.
Sin embargo, brujos afirman que es imposible que en estos tiempos en la zona existan nahuales. El último existió en Catemaco hace más de 50 años.
Over the years, people in Paraguay have reported strange sightings of a creature that emerges in the night and wreaks havoc near the woods. What these folks experienced...
Now, when we were talking earlier about the Bigfoot, and I was like, hey, look at how this guy's ass sticks up in the air when they do movies where someone's supposed to have like an ape-like gait, they use arm extenders Let's just keep that in mind when we watch this one.
In 2018, however, was the worst reported incident yet.
Ei, venha na veia, eita, o Lu, ei. Venha na veia, o Lu, minha louquice, ah. Que louco é isso, ei? Mira o Lu, mira o Lu, você tá preparado, Lu, você tá preparado?
What initially looked like a hybrid between a dog and a bear quickly transformed into a monster. The people filming couldn't believe their eyes, but the more this thing moved, the more certain they got. They'd just stumbled upon a werewolf.
Or a person in a costume.
At this point, they knew they couldn't run because this thing looked fast and ferocious. All they could do was try to calm the beast down and pray for their lives. And just when they thought they were in the clear, the monster started walking.
That's definitely a person with forearm extenders.
This footage comes from Woodstock, Georgia, where a man ventured into the woods with his dog, hoping for some quiet time. What he didn't realize, though, was that he was actually walking straight into mortal danger.
It's the daytime. Werewolves aren't out until there's a full moon. I think you're good. You should be alright.
His dog started acting erratically and barking at something out of nowhere, almost as if it had seen something. The man knew something was up, but while he should have just left the area, he made the mistake of following his dog deeper into the woods.
Yeah. Everybody's on the same page with me with that arm stilt costume, right? Yeah. I missed it. Just the blur in the woods?
Speaking of dogs acting strange, this man was woken up at night by his dog's constant barking. When he went outside to take a look, however, he realized an intruder had just emerged from the woods, and it wasn't human.
Where? See that? Come on, werewolf.
The thing hiding in the shadows looked like a white wolf at first, but things got really scary when it started morphing right in front of the man's eyes. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, but then it stood up. On May 25th, 2019, a family stood up.
I don't know if that's clear enough to make any kind of distinction of it being a white wolf or anything else.
A family in Brazil was about to go to bed when they heard a loud howl behind their house that didn't sound anything like a dog. Thinking it was a wolf, they got the camera and started filming through the window.
Another stock werewolf howl.
They could see the creature slowly approaching through the bushes, but the scary thing was, this beast looked bigger than any animal they'd seen. And as it continued to emerge into the light, the terrifying reality also started to settle in.
That looks like CGI too. Just being honest. To me, it looks like CGI.
This thing wasn't a dog or a wolf. It wasn't human either. No, it had a dog-like face with a humanoid face. At this point, there was no doubt. There was a werewolf living in their backyard. Imagine getting a knock on the door deep into the night and going downstairs to check, only to realize the thing that's outside is not even human. Sounds terrifying? Well, that's exactly what happened to this person. As he went downstairs with his camera, he started hearing low growls outside his window.
You can do that with
one look was
like, you see those like morph suits, and then they'll have the red eyes and stuff. They can pull that off
to confirm his suspicions. The glowing eyes, the dog ears, and the strange stance, this was a dog man.
You say so. Argue with you about it. Looks like a morph suit with glowing eyes.
The creature
dog
kept
ears.
knocking despite being spotted and wouldn't go away. But the way it stared at the man was the real scary part. In 2010, a bunch of friends were hanging out near the Bella Vista.
He just moves right along. Doesn't like hang out and like. Yeah, it's like on to the next one.
Waterfront in Argentina, having a couple of beers in the early morning hours, when they were abruptly interrupted by something emerging from the dark.
Oh, I'm starting to get tired. Let me speed this up a little bit.
It was dark, so they thought this shadowy creature was just a stray dog trying to cross the bridge. The second it started to move, however, they realized they were in danger because this wasn't just any animal, this was a cryptid.
What way?
In 2022, a family heard a howl outside their home and got notified by their security camera about an unwanted visitor. They checked the footage, thinking it was a stray dog, but it quickly became clear that they were wrong.
That looks like an animatronic almost. The way it's moving.
A wolf's head emerged from the bushes in front of their door, but there was something off about the way it moved, almost as if it didn't have a wolf's body. And soon after, the creature moved and revealed itself.
Subscribe for more paranormal content.
This
it's
wasn't
because
a
of the
wolf.
stock
This
howl.
was a werewolf, and the closer they looked, the clearer it became. This thing had humanoid characteristics, and it was itching to break into their home and possibly attack them. This video comes from Bladenburg,
How do you know that? That's just speculative.
Carolina, where a man was driving through the woods at night. As he returned home and started preparing to park his car, he realized he wasn't alone in this area.
Someone from the cast of Cats was with him.
Turns out a creature had been sitting in the woods right next to his house. But the more he looked at
It's
his
weird how they keep mirroring the footage and showing it again.
dashcam footage, the scarier it got. After all, this thing was bipedal and had dog-like features, which could only mean one thing: a werewolf.
Or a furry out doing their shit in the woods, and all of a sudden they're in the headlights of a car. Stop with the furry shame.
The following footage comes from Corrientes, Argentina, where local residents claim to have shot down a werewolf in broad daylight. And just to make sure no one could argue against their claim, they filmed the beast for everyone to see as well.
What are we looking at?
With his humanoid body and wolf-like head, there was no doubt they'd just taken down a werewolf. But that's where things got really scary, because once they zoomed in on its mouth, they realized how lucky they were to make it out alive.
What's the deal?
Many still think this werewolf was fake, but the residents are convinced they were right. In
Looks like an art
2021,
piece
a
to
man
me.
was out for a hike in the woods when he spotted a dark figure walking through the trees ahead of him. But while most people would have left the area, the man mustered up the courage to get close and record it.
It's the guy in a werewolf costume.
This creature was unlike anything he'd seen before. It had a wolf's head, but it walked around like a human. It had to be a dog man. But with the man standing so close to the beast, a slight movement was all it'd take for it
Brah, that's just a dude in a costume. Come on now. Can you not tell a rubber from flesh?
to notice him. In 2023, a man living in the woods had one
Oh, I
of the worst
thought we've
moments
done
of his
this one
life when a
too.
creature kept showing up
There's
at
the
his house
homesteader.
and
This is
stalking his
Mittens.
family. However,
This is Mittens, the Michigan monster.
things really went south when the thing decided to climb up his roof.
Oh, damn.
Mittens is on your roof.
Holy shit. All right. No, bitch is on the other side of the house.
The thing had glowing eyes, and it had been terrorizing him for days, despite him firing several warning shots at it. However, things got terrifying when he got a clearer look and realized he was dealing with a Sasquatch or a dogman.
What the hell?
Putting bones on your roof.
What is that?
Mittens. That's how Mittens
He
says.
had no idea how to deal with the situation, and
stop
all he
video
could do was
recording
film the creature to call for help. But as soon as he walked to the other side of the house to film the creature again, he stumbled upon something even scarier. The following footage comes from Mexico, where a man was going through the security camera alerts on his phone when one footage caught his eye. There was something off about this video because initially it looked like nothing was actually moving.
That's not a werewolf, though. What is that?
Just when he thought this could have been an insect accidentally triggering his camera, however, it appeared. A shadowy humanoid creature with bowed legs and a dog-like face, casually walking in the street in front of his house. He was certain he'd just seen an owl.
To me, it looks like a person, just that camera wasn't able to resolve them in the dark very well.
A man set up a hunting camera right next to a railroad trail to capture wildlife and see if he could spot anything he could hunt. However, what he captured was something he wouldn't have anticipated in his wildest dreams.
Dog man.
A wolf's head popped out of the tall grass initially, which was promising for the man's hunting prospects. But little did he know that this creature had a lot more going on than just a wolf's head, because right underneath that was a humanoid body.
We caught some furries.
The following footage comes from Paraíba, Brazil, where residents heard loud barking deep into the night. However, as they got near the windows to check, the noise turned into what can only be described as nightmare fuel.
Your dog's barking.
An incredibly loud howl pierced through all the dog barks, sending shivers down everyone's spines. It almost sounded like a siren, which meant this thing wasn't even a wolf. At which point the people were convinced they had a werewolf.
It doesn't sound like a wolf, it sounds like dogs.
Among them. Many thought a wolf could have made this noise, but the residents were convinced they'd heard nothing like it before. Besides, the dog sounded strange too, giving even more credence to the fact that a werewolf had just walked into their territory. In 2019, a Brazilian farm owner had one of the strangest...
Wait, was it just a howl? How's the howl anything but a dog howl? Come on now. For real?
...experiences of his life when he kept waking up to dead animals. But when he installed cameras to monitor the situation, he realized an ordinary predator wasn't attacking his animals.
It's that same werewolf from earlier.
His worst fear became reality as he witnessed a massive creature with a wolf's head emerging from the bushes. And while this thing's howl was terrifying, the growl is what really cemented it as a creature straight out of hell. The farmer's...
Hear my howl?
Dogs were going crazy after seeing the creature, but they were no match for it. This thing was big, and the farmer had only one explanation. A werewolf was stalking him. While being stuck inside...
Of course, that's the only explanation. A werewolf stalking.
...inside your house because of a monster is already bad enough. This trucker had it even worse because, according to him, he was trapped in his truck for several hours because of a creature that had shown up outside the window.
What I do to impress? My howl? Yeah, my howls are pretty good. I do pretty good animal impressions.
The creature,
I'm all rubbery-like.
which the trucker claims was a werewolf, refused to leave the area despite his best efforts. In fact, it kept peeking in through the window, almost as if it wanted to get inside and attack the poor trucker.
Where is it? I want to see it. Is it below the mirror? Okay, look below the mirror.
In 2019, a couple of friends were hanging out in their neighborhood, fooling around with each other, when a creature sitting across the street quickly brought their fun to a halt.
This is how a lot of gnome videos start too.
From a distance, it looked like a monkey or a stray dog, but there was something off about the way it was sitting. And while they decided to walk towards it for a
it's a bro!
closer look, they quickly realized they'd made a big mistake.
Tengo. Pero tengo que apagar
It's a homie.
The following footage comes from Fresno, California, where a man was setting up his camp to relax and reconnect with nature. Little did he know, however, that he'd just walked into very dangerous territory.
A monkey?
Shape up there.
Just at the
What the hell
zoo?
is that? Oh, God.
He could see a dark brown figure jumping across the field in front of him, and for a second he couldn't believe what he was seeing. But as the creature kept moving, the reality started to set in too. This was no animal.
Shape up there. What the hell is that? Oh, God.
This was a Sasquatch. Many refused to believe him, but he was adamant
Is it a Sasquatch or a werewolf? This is supposed to be werewolf encounters.
he'd just seen a Sasquatch or a dog man.
And it just abruptly ends. All right, well, what a night it's been. What a night. All right. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and fix this up. There we go. Yeah. There we go. All right, we'll do it like that. All right, so hopefully this was fun. I mean, it comes out of left field, I guess. I don't usually plan on doing stuff during the week like this, but why not? There's no reason for me to not be creating content as long as I got stuff to cover. So tonight it was captured on camera, which I'm all about. That's like a cornerstone of my channel is finding stuff that was captured on camera. That's what cryptids are all about. But what do you think? I mean, were any of these convincing to you? Were you swayed? Were you swayed by any of these videos to believe that there are werewolves, Sasquatch, Jersey Devils, or what was the other one? Lizard people, yeah, roaming the earth in modern times? Let me know in the comments. If you'd like me to do more stuff like this, I'm thinking about doing more stuff like this. Again, maybe with some more guests and stuff. I'll probably start about an hour earlier than what I started tonight, though. But regardless, I appreciate everybody for sticking around and hanging out and watching the show with me. Please remember to be kind, take care. We will see you next time.
Oh, there's a hawk！ 快看，有一只鸟飞过来了。
哎，是鸟啊，鸟啊！
哦，
往我们这边跑了，哎，到水里了，到水里了！好，快跑！